the games and publishing head of Xbox, Matt Booty, what was echoed by Phil Spencer, I believe, as well. I'm not sure if Sarah Bond, the head of Xbox platform, had said this as well, but there's a big debate going on in the gaming community about, is gaming's biggest competitor TikTok? I will say this, and I normally don't do this because, hey, we want viewership at this channel. You know, I'm a very selfish, jerk. But no, I got to point you to one of my favorite content creators out there, and there's a plethora that I enjoy. I enjoy Arthur Giles and the people over at Rebel FM. Those are Xbox people, by the way. And as you guys know, I'm not the biggest Xbox gamer, but I can appreciate creators that do the best work, regardless if I agree with their opinions. As long as they're bringing facts and they're educating me, I appreciate what they do. So along with Arthur Giles and the people over at Rebel FM, along with Mr. Maddie Plays, another Xbox person, along with my homie Mag, middle-aged gaming guy, right? And along with some other Xbox people, there are PlayStation people that I enjoy as well. King Thrash is one of them. King Thrash, hey, look, they tried to target my homie King Thrash with a Soul video. He came back and just mowed them all down, commando style, right? With what I feel is the best quote unquote Salt video this generation. And Porter Rock is another one who I think is great as far as informing gamers. When I first heard this comparison between TikTok and gaming, I said, this doesn't feel right. But I feel like the people that have been arguing on both sides have not done a good job doing so until I heard what Porter Rock had to say. And then I was like, oh yeah, that helped crystallize my thoughts. So I wanted to react to that. People, it's your boy MM2K of Hard Knock Digital Culture, Cloud Dosage, and MM2K Gaming, back again with another episode of the MM2K Gaming Newscap. This is where we talk about the latest and greatest in video game news. And man, do we have a great one for you today. Before we go any further, do us a huge favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, rock those bells for notifications, please. And if you want a more detailed discussion about this, check out, I'm running a mini cast right now where I'm recording this excerpt from, and I'm making this part public. But if you want a deeper discussion after that, we're going to engage in after this, then definitely become a member, hit that join button and join us at the Foamy Homie level. That will get you access to all the content. Okay. So I urge you to listen to Porter Rock's video. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Porter Rock does an excellent video explaining why it's kind of silly to try to make the comparison between gaming and TikTok. Here it goes right here. Here, let's do this. Let's bring you over this way. Let's make that up. There we go. All right, that's the right screen. It's right here. Hey, moron, gaming is not competing with TikTok, right? Now, I've heard a lot of people that are pro Xbox, sicko fans, and Phil cultists that will just elevate everything that is said from that camp and make excuses for it. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about the people that a lot of many I've heard are not sicko fans of Xbox or whatever, that feel like, yeah, you know what? Absolutely right. You're damn right. TikTok is competing. Me and Coldblood even had a discussion about this where, you know, he does rightfully point out that, hey, our kids' brains are fried because of TikTok. They just scroll. But does that make it a competition between TikTok and gaming? Porter Rock points out something very important here. And the thing that Porter Rock points out is that what people fail to understand is that you're talking about two different sets of activity going on here. TikTok is a passive form of entertainment where gaming is active. What does that mean? Say, for instance, let me give you a typical MM2K gaming day. Let's say on the weekend. Typical MM2K gaming day is I am looking for content. Say, if I get some free time on the weekend, hey, what videos can I create? Right. So I'm scrolling. Or I'm just looking to see what gaming news is out there, even if I can't create videos. So I'm scrolling. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. Let me check up on this and see what's going on here with Xbox or PlayStation or Nintendo, right? I'm passively looking through stuff because I'm trying to, gain some knowledge base. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I may wake up and I may put on the local news first. Hey, what's going on in the news today? Some people may wake up and they might put on the ID channel. They got to see some crime, mystery story, whatever. That is passive entertainment, where you are entertaining yourself by just kicking back and relaxing. Porter Rock, again, does a great job of explaining this. Gaming is active entertainment, right? So when I'm done just chilling and just relaxing and absorbing information or absorbing content, and I'm ready to get active with something, do a crossword puzzle, play cards, go outside and play football, go, with the friends and we go bowling or something. When I want to do something active, that's where my brain puts down the phone and go and does something active, right? So it's different urges. It's kind of like, me and a good friend of mine, we got into an argument about this one time. Like, hey, he likes to drive where I like to fly, right? We were arguing, what's the better way to travel? Now, even though, granted, the ways to travel, you may be competing with each other. If someone were to go to a U.S. Airlines representative and say, hey, we see here that your biggest competitor is Southwest, and they're lowering the cost of their carry-ons. What are you going to do to offset your competitor lowering the cost of their carry-ons? If I as a U.S. Airlines representative said, well, you know what? It don't matter to us what Southwest is doing. Because really, our biggest competitor is people that decide to drive on the roads. It's PennDOT. We have Pennsylvania, the construction group of Pennsylvania that paves our roads. If I were to say, nah, biggest competitor is not Southwest, it's PennDOT. What are you talking about? Yes, it's all traveling, but we're talking about direct competitors. And when this question was posed to Xbox more recently, I know people like Sean Layton, whoever, talked about this in the past, but they're talking about from a more granular point, from a more 5,000 foot point. We're talking about direct competitors. So not only are people missing the mark, as Porter Rock points out, that, hey, you got passive entertainment versus active entertainment. Those are two totally different sensory impulses that are being satisfied there. When you want to get active, you get active, right? It's like the phrase, let's get active. So yes, it's all traveling, but come on. Airlines direct, U.S. Airways direct or airlines direct competitor is not PennDOT, the people that pave the road. It is Southwest or any other airline, right? So when the question was posed about direct competitor activity, and even though we say the console war is over, whatever, they still have a console out. And while they have a console out, that regardless if they are doing a good job at it or they kind of backed off from it, it is a direct competitor to the PlayStation. While there is direct competition happening, what say ye about dissolving your exclusives? Pointing out entertainment as a whole is a deflection. And I think misses the mark and shows something more troubling. That you have these big conglomerate executives of these big conglomerates that are looking at passive entertainment as a direct competitor to active entertainment. That therefore tells you the state of gaming down the road. Because as much as besides creating the content yourself, the most active you get on TikTok is flipping up and down. So if they want to take that superficial activity and therefore, I guess, label going through TikTok as active, what do you think is going to happen to their games? You understand what I'm saying? So this is troubling all the way around. Not only is the comparison a problem, because it's addressing two different forms of entertainment, but it also, the end state of what they want to do, they want to warp gaming into something that simulates passive entertainment instead of active entertainment, to tap into and this is my final point, a different demographic that isn't even for gaming. Look, my wife that swipes up on TikTok or Twitter or whatever it is all day, she's not going to game in the state that gaming is in. In order to get my wife to game, you have to change gaming into something so passive and so watered down that it is like TikTok scrolling. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to play games like that. So my issue all the way around is not just, I think, the misfire on the different types of entertainment that we're talking about here. It's not the misfire in understanding the different demographics that, you know, someone that's scrolling on TikTok is going to do versus someone that's willing to game. And to add to that, the average age of a gamer is in their mid 30s. Why are we looking at activities of people half that age and correlating that to gamers when the average age of a gamer is 35? So the average gamer, I mean, again, I'm not saying they're not on TikTok, but their time isn't consumed or being overwritten by scrolling on TikTok. If anything, I would say even for the younger demographic, TikTok has replaced watching TV. That's what TikTok has replaced, watching TV. And that's bad enough. But TikTok has replaced watching TV, where video games has replaced people going outside and being active. Going outside and hanging out with friends and, you know, doing stuff with your friends or going bowling or whatever, or going out, kids going outside and playing football. So that breaks it into a whole nother set of problems altogether as far as our health and all this other crazy stuff. But that's what TikTok is replacing versus what gaming is replacing. But again, why are we doing a cross comparison of demographics that are not running parallel? Which brings me again to the last point. Pay attention to what they want to do to your games before you go and co-sign on this crap. This is trash. And even though I feel like Mike Ybarra was onto something, he may have not broken it down correctly as far as why the comparison is silly. I think the underlying point from all of us is look at what they're trying to do to your games. They wanted to compete with a totally different form of entertainment, and they want to appeal more so to a totally different demographic, which games as we know it is not even for. That's a problem. And that's it from your boy. Let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. Like I always say, here's what I think. But if you did like what I had to say, check out the links below to follow me. They will lead you to Hard Knock Digital Culture, Cloud Dosage, MM2K Gaming. With that said, peace. Have a wonderful gaming day. So we've heard a lot of recent discussions around what was said by CEO of Microsoft, Satya Nadella. What's up, people? What's up, people? What's up? We are back. Long overdue. Yeah, it's all my fault, I know. But long overdue. What's up, everybody? It's your boy, MM2K, here again with your other host, my homie, who I haven't talked to during that time. Well, except offline and in DMs. What's up? You're the one, the only Cold Blood Sensei. What's going up, homie? How you been?
Great, brother. Great.
Good. Glad to hear. Man, do we have a special treat for y'all? We're going to be talking Xbox, PlayStation, and GTA 6 today. That's going to be, and whatever else comes up. But good to see everybody in the chat. Can you do us a huge favor? Hit that like button, please. Hit that like button. And then also tweet this out too. Let everybody know that we're live. We're going live at a weird time of the day, so a lot of people may not realize that we're live. Also, I wasn't 100% sure that I could make this time until like a half an hour before we actually started the stream. So do us a huge favor, help us boost the signal and let everybody know that we are here. We got a great show lined up for you today. Before we get started, let me shout out the chat. Let me go over here to my social blade. Shout everybody out that is here. We got the homie Geek the Sneak. He says, yeah. Oh, guess what, Cold Blood? He's back. We got our homie Zantac in the house. Zantac says, MM2K, behave yourself and get a gaming PC if you haven't already.
Wait, you know what? I'm actually Xanax? His name is Xanax?
That's what I call him. Yatazik is what he that's what I call him. Who the hell is that? 18 to 36-year-old gay. He's responding. He said, when Sean Layton said no one mentioned Zantac, now I know where you get your now. Zantac, can I give you let me help you out here. Stop listening to Boom. Stop listening to Chaos Lounge. Stop listening to C Money. Listen to Mr. Maddie Plays. Oh, shout out. We got someone that became a sponsor. Geek to Sneak became a sponsor. He's all foamed up. Shout out to the homie Geek to Sneak. Yeah. Stop listening to those people. Look, the console war is over. So anybody that's trying to butter you up about how Xbox is still dominant and PlayStation is losing and they're copying and all this other, stop listening to them. The console war is over. Unless you hate PlayStation that much and it just tickles you on the inside, you know what I'm saying? If it just makes you go hee like the new Michael Jackson biopic, if it just gives you just weird tingly vibes to just hear PlayStation 8, stop listening to those people for actual factual discussions. They're not serving you well. Again, here's the people that I listen to. Mr. Maddie Plays, Brad Sams. I listen to a podcast called Rebel FM with industry stewards, the people that are behind great pieces of articles and stuff like that of Gaming Past, of GMR Magazine, of 7up, the co-founder of Polygon. His name is Arthur Giles, and I forget the other guy's name. I always do that, by the way. They run apart. They are very pro Xbox, extremely pro Xbox, but they're not talking this goofy shit. That's who you need to listen to. Then they will let you know what's goofy, what's not goofy. Okay, I don't agree with these people's gaming opinions on hardly anything, but they speak facts. They're not trying to rosy things up for you. They let you know how things are, what they are. There's no smoke and mirrors with them. Stop listening to these people. These are the same people that are that feed you the bullcrap that you just came here with. When Sean Layton said it, nobody was paying attention when Sean Layton said it. Cobra, did we do a podcast on Sean Layton thinking that gaming compares to? No. Nobody cared about it.
Wait, what did Sean Layton say?
Sean Layton said that gaming is competing with TikTok.
Sean Layton said that?
Yeah, Sean Layton said that. But
not Satya?
He said it last year. I think he said it on Jay Bar. He may have said it on Jay Barry's podcast, or he said it on a different interview. Yeah, Sean Layton said that goofy shit.
No, I do agree that TikTok can sometimes distract from gaming.
Mm-hmm.
I do agree with that. But really competing, I don't know. that sounds very far-fetched.
Here's the problem with the argument. The argument is okay. If you're having a discussion about time and who can what form of entertainment can distract a young person in particular, what part of entertainment can distract a young person's time management the most, is if that was a thing, then yes, we can have that discussion. What distracts gaming people's and you're just having some offshoot conversation? Absolutely. But here's the thing. When we talk about compete, this is where this is why I said don't listen to those bungleheads. When we use the word compete, it's from an industry context. Competing in the market. There is no market where TikTok is competing against video games. That market does not exist. It's from a 5,000 feet conversational or theoretical approach where we're like, we want to be so successful to where we absorb as much time globally as TikTok. That's just pie in the sky verbiage. Your competition in your business sector are other gaming companies. For instance, Thanksgiving is coming up in the States. Real big travel holiday, right? If I were to say to you, Zantac, and I don't know what part of the world you're in, if I were to say to you, you know what? I was gonna, I'm going on American Airlines. But you know what? Screw American Airlines, because I'm going to go on their grand competitor, which is I'm going to go ride the PennDOT roadways, the roadways paved by PennDOT, and I'm going to travel that way instead of flying. I mean, yeah, in the granular scheme of travel, yeah, when you want to have a discussion like, yeah, how many people are traveling in a car versus traveling in the sky? Oh, okay, well, yeah, there's more traveling in the sky than there is traveling on the ground. That doesn't mean that those are your biggest competitors. American Airways' biggest competitor is Southwest and the other the air carriers. So when that question was posed originally to Satya Nadella and Matt Booty, they were talking about their biggest direct competitor. Their biggest direct competitor in the market is other publishers, other platforms. It is not TikTok. When Sean Layton was addressing it, he was just addressing it from, again, a pie in the sky, holistic view of who's trying to compete with your time. But just like air travel versus car travel, there are certain demographics that come into play. There's certain people that just love the drive. They don't care if the driving time is 34 hours or whatever. And they don't care if the air flight in comparison is 2 hours. They are going to drive. So there are different demographics from ground travel versus air flight people. that different demographic has very little crossover. They're different sectors. They're different business sectors. They don't directly compete. So the whole theory is just pie in the sky theoretical. So number one, nobody cared that what Sean Layton said. They just waved it up. No, who did podcasts on that is a fan of PlayStation that said, "Oh, Sean Layton is on to something"? They just waved it off and went about their business. Because Sean Layton's not running a business company now. Sean Layton wasn't asked directly, "Hey, Sean, who is your biggest competitor?" "Well, my biggest competitor is TikTok." He didn't say that. He was just talking holistically, because holistically, he works from on an advisory capacity. So he's looking at this differently. I still think it's BS, but still, whatever. That's just his holistic advisory stuff, and they went about their business. But for a business company, when asked directly about your direct competitors, for that business person to say, "Oh no, Nintendo and PlayStation ain't my direct competitors, it's TikTok," it's stupid. If it wasn't stupid, why aren't y'all jumping out of the roofs to ask, how come Matt Piscatella doesn't have TikTok? What's TikTok revenue on Sakana? How come TikTok revenue isn't being gauged on by Sakana? Because it's not a direct competitor. You all's ignorant, and this is why people get over on you on this, and why it makes it more and more challenging to even have conversations in this community. Your business acumen is so fucking bad. Y'all don't understand business. Your ability to understand how businesses operate is so fucking piss poor that these dumb, lowbrow, low thought process creators can come and say the dumbest shit and y'all gobble it up. If you're listening to a grand scale, oh yeah, if you think about it, just from a conversational piece, if you think about it, yeah, people are, they're trying to fight. They're trying to fight the casual demographic for time, but people that are someone that's gonna scroll on TikTok that plays games on a console, someone that's scrolling on a TikTok, they're not gonna sit there and say, "Damn, I could be playing God of War right now." They're not in the mood to play a game, which I think Porter Rock describes accurately as active versus passive entertainment. When you want to get into active entertainment, passive entertainment is not going to do it for you. That's why some of you right now, just to prove our point, some of you right now are listening to this podcast while playing a fucking game. Yeah, you guys got to stop listening to these dooftards. When it was brought up to Satya Nadella, but then Matt Booty first, you have a gaming company head or exec being asked about a direct competitor, and he tried to wave it off by saying, "Really, none of these other people that are pummeling us into the ground are our competitors. It's TikTok." That's a form of dismissal, so you can stop asking them why the fuck do they remain in last place. And y'all are nothing but talking heads for Xbox marketing. It's insane, purely insane. King Deuce says he has a PS5. He don't need a PC. Prince Philip says Xbox dudes always reaching for anything. and then they always make themselves sound ridiculous. Andrew Wilkins says all Xbox fans always been idiot. Geek says, man, I've been super busy, but I finally caught a live stream. No, Geek, you were at our last live stream. No, Geek, what's been happening is my schedule is like totally fucked, dude. It's fucked. I'm doing streams every other week or every 2 weeks. I'm trying to do a video. I wanted to do like 2 videos every week, but what I'm kind of like bound to is a video and like a member stream every week. Yeah, my schedule is totally fucked, and in between there, I gotta squeeze out gaming, y'all. You know, so there's like just so much shit that I gotta finish up. There's shit that's out right now that's speaking to me. It's calling me. So you know what I mean. So I gotta play it. Holomoko says, Moss, what do you mean with GTA 6 launching on new Xbox? Well, I'm glad you brought that up, Holomoko. Let me see if I can find that. Cobra, I don't know if you got the link. I thought I had the link. Let me go see if I think Oliver Darko had it. There's a funny ass rumor going around. No, you know what? Cold Blood might have sent it to me. Cold Blood, I think you sent it to me. Let me look. Oh no. Cold, okay, here's what Cold, here's, okay. Damn. All right, so this is the rumor that's going around, and I wanted to take a snippet of it. So here's the rumor. This is from Cold Blood's favorite creator, C Money. C Money's on point. He says, let me pull it up here. He says, if Xbox drops their next gen console as rumored on their 25th anniversary on November 15th, there are going to be a lot of sad ponies galloping around. It's going to be glorious. So the rumor, Holomako, is that GTA 6 is being held back and is possibly going to launch on the next Xbox console. There is a lot of shape shifting and reality bending and reality contortion that's happening here in order to make this happen. And we're going to talk about that very shortly. But I'm going to finish through these comments. But that's where that came from. There's conversation that people are going, that gamers are going to, that that GTA 6 is going to launch on the next console. So yeah, that's what I was saying in the video that you guys listened to. It was a video I was supposed to drop, but I got to make a thumbnail for it. I didn't even have a chance to do that. I'll drop it sometime next week. But yeah, if you're a member, you heard that content as soon as it was made. So consider being a member. Even when I don't drop live content, I drop members content a little bit more frequently. So if you want my thoughts, on what's going on in the gaming sphere, if we don't have live content, there's likely member content on it, because it's easier for me to just go create a members video real quick, throw it out there. You know what I mean? It's not coming to Series S and X. No, they said it's coming to Series S and X, but they think that it's coming to this new console. I know it's like, because here's the thought process, Holomako. The thought process is GTA 6 is likely going to play better or best on PlayStation. PlayStation, from all intents and purposes, has the marketing rights. Or it's going to play best on the Pro. I even heard something from Ryan McCaffrey over the weekend, where Ryan McCaffrey was like, look, I'm getting a Pro just for this. I'm gonna be honest. I told you guys that's why I got a Pro. I got a Pro for GTA 6. You know what I mean? Because the Pro was literally my GTA 6 box. Like, I didn't care as long as it didn't fuck up anything else. It didn't fuck up the games that I already bought. I'll be honest with you. I didn't care, you know, what the performance difference was. Even though I'm not saying it would have been okay. Let's just say if there was no performance. I'm not saying that. I'm just speaking for me personally. I didn't care. But I always spoke to generally, would it be worth it for the community to buy it? And that's why we went so batshit about the price when it was first announced. You know, but for me, I was gonna get it, you know, pretty much regardless, because it was going to be my GTA 6 box. Why? Because we heard all these grumblings that GTA 6 was going to be so taxing, and it's only going to be 30 frames on the base consoles. And from what I was hearing about the Pro, I'm like, in my mind, if there's a deal and they're coming out with the Pro, and then this update is supposed to be coming out right before there's, you know, PSSR 2.0, right before GTA 6 comes, they're making, what they want to do is they want to make sure that the Pro is targeting 60 here, where it may not target 60 on the base consoles. They want to make sure that it at least targets 60 on the Pro. So all of the bells and whistles, ray tracing and all other shit that we expect in games right now, that they're testing out on the Pro and they're using that to enhance the PSSR, the general wisdom is that that stuff is going to be present in GTA 6. It's not going to be present on the base models, even though the base models may be fine enough for most gamers. But for us super gamers, for our hardcore gamers that want that 60 frames, that would like to see like ray tracing mixed in with a performance mode, that, you know, that expect a little bit more out of the games that we play this generation, the only console that was going to deliver that, the general wisdom is the PS5 Pro is the only console that's going to deliver that. Well, now that you got this Xbox quote unquote hybrid that's supposed to come out in 2026, now that this has been pushed back to November 2026, this ridiculous rumor is that this console is going to actually have GTA 6 launch on it, for one, and for two, GTA 6 is going to perform better on this console. That doesn't make a lick. Number one, there's so many walls that you got to get through, Cold Blood. Number one, you even got to believe that this fucking thing is coming out. I know we've talked about this, and I know you're like, they're probably still attempting. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I can catch the L or whatever. I don't care. They have a horrible track record. Me personally, I don't believe this thing is coming out. I don't believe it. Do I say that because I feel like they've already made the decision? No. I think Xbox, from a platform standpoint, is so incompetent that they're probably planning on it right now. They're probably trying to work through the rigors of getting it out there, and they're going to fail and fuck up like they do with everything else. And it's not going to come out. And then what you're going to end up getting is you're going to end up getting another OEM pre-built device that runs this Xbox software. Oh, they signed a deal with AMD. I get it. I get it. They're going to find some way to flip this shit around and maybe partner with some people. I don't know what they're going to do, but I'm extremely doubtful that they are going to come. That's just me. I'm extremely doubtful. I could be wrong, and that's fine. I don't mind being wrong about. I'd rather be cautious with a company that has a horrible track record versus, you know, being duped again. So me personally, I have extreme doubts that this thing is even going to come out. So that's wall number one. Wall number 2, let's just say if it does come out, we got to believe that it's coming out in 2026. We know how Xbox is. What the fuck makes you? They just had to cancel their own handheld to focus on Windows, for crying out loud, to make Windows a better experience. So this could even be a viable market item. You really think they're gonna do that in a year? Yeah. And then let's just say if it does come out in a year, right? Let's just say if it does come out in 2026, as this being alluded, then we gotta surmise that the emulation that they said is going to be part of this thing is going to be available day one. Because again, we know how Xbox works. They fuck shit up. So even if they release it by 2026, we gotta then believe that the emulation that is going to play your previous games, including your Xbox Series games, is going to be available day one. We gotta believe that. Okay, let's just say they do that. Then you gotta believe that the emulation that is going to happen with even your series games is going to make the game perform better than the PlayStation 5 Pro on this. Emulation is going to do that. But let's just say, let's just say they do that. Let's just say if they take it a step further, because this is what people are really hinting to on that side. They're not hinting to that the emulation on it is going to be so damn good that it's going to outperform the Pro. No, that's not what they're suggesting. They are suggesting that this got delayed because they actually think that there's going to be a native PC version or native Xbox hybrid. They really think that this thing is going to have native Xbox hybrid games. They're not just going to be basically PC games, but they're going to be native Xbox hybrid games. There's going to be a version at launch day built specifically for the Xbox hybrid, and it's going to be more powerful than anything on the PlayStation 5 Pro.
Sound like your old self right now. It's disgusting.
You make me hit my mic, you motherfucker. Dude, no.
This is you from 6 years ago, bro. Literally.
Cold Blood, say something again. Can y'all hear Cold Blood? Okay, say something again.
Hello?
Let me know if you guys can hear Cold Blood. Okay, because he's kind of low on my. He just went low. Hold on. Okay. All right. Now that was something in my controls. Now, if I sounded like that, y'all needed to take me out back like old Yeller and put me out of my misery. No, that is the most loopiest shit. They are so incompetent. Like all those walls, I named about like 6-7 walls of imagination that you have to plow through in order. If Xbox was that capable to plow through all those walls, then the Series X would have been a much more huge success. What am I saying? Much more huge, like it was a success at all. It would have been a success. So this company, all of a sudden, with the same people in it, with Jason Ronald, the chief architect under the Xbox Series shit. That's what S stands for, the Xbox Series shit. The chief architect of the Xbox Series shit. He's going to do all this wonderful, magical stuff and make the Xbox platform be better than it ever was. Okay. All right. If y'all like it, I love it. If y'all like it, I love it. Well, oh shit. I still got this up here. That's probably why people aren't coming. Hold on. Where the fuck did I put the rundown? Where did I put it? Okay. All right. So yeah, that's that's the problem. The problem is that there's like 7 walls of imagination that people have to operate through in order to believe all this stuff. Geek to Sneak says the only 2 consoles I have right now is Wii U and Switch. I'll be picking up Switch 2 next month for Metroid Prime 4. Yeah, I'm gonna say this. I've been enjoying some gaming like a mofo. I'll say this. All jokes aside, me pointing out goofball content creators and all other stuff, fuck them. Let them do what they do with the dummies. Don't be one of the dummies that they pilfer and they grift off of. They're going to do what they're going to do. When Phil Spencer finally retires and then the Xbox cult or the Phil cultivists no longer have anywhere to turn, they're going to die off like roaches, or they're going to die off, you know what I'm saying, in the sun. I'm speaking to gamers. I'm speaking to real gamers right now. For the best, if you're a hardcore gamer and you want to play everything, or you want access to the best games out there, and you got the disposable income, here's what you need to do. If you're just a gamer altogether that wants to I'll start off like this, and then we'll get right into the show. If you're a hardcore AAA photorealistic, the bells and whistles, balls to the walls type of gamer, and again, anybody that doesn't game this way, I'm not saying that you're irrelevant. I'm just saying, well, I'm talking, most of the people that even check into this are hardcore, like balls to the walls, AAA gamers. That's what y'all want. Y'all were, on the edge of your seats for games like Cyberpunk, even though they fell under, or, Witcher 3, the ones that did do well, like the latest and greatest, the most innovative games. You remember the BioShocks and all the other shit that came out, the Last of Us 2s and the God of Wars and stuff like that. If you're a gamer that thrives off of top-notch production and games like that, here's what you need. First and foremost, a PlayStation. If you get a base PlayStation 5, that's fine. Now, I get it where people are like, but, we ain't really had that banger. I will say that this generation, and I've complained about this too, this generation, you haven't seen the I don't want to say innovation, the aspirations. You haven't seen games aspire to what was introduced to us to the levels of, Witcher 3, God of War, the first one. Because even though I think Ragnarok is a great game, it's a sequel to something else that was already built. A Last of Us, you know what I'm saying? A Last of Us, or dare I even say A Last of Us 2? I'm contradicting just my former point. But A Last of Us 2, you haven't seen games aspire as brand new IP or breakout IP to that level. And I'm not saying there aren't great games out. There's definitely fucking Ghost of Yotai is fucking awesome. But just hear me out. You aren't seeing new IP aspire to those levels this generation. This generation is different. What you're seeing is IPs that have a level of familiarity get extremely polished, or ideas that we've already seen get extremely polished, and they're perfected. That's what you're getting a lot of it. Like we're getting, I'm telling you, you're getting more. I feel like you're getting more quality games than I can remember. There may have been a lot of games that you've seen out there on the market that were trying to do like real different shit that you haven't seen. And you're like, oh, that's interesting. Oh, let me try this. Let me try that. But let's be honest with ourselves. A lot of those games we played and we were like, oh, that was a cool attempt, but it fell short, or it was dog shit or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You're seeing a lot of, in my opinion, a lot of games that may not be breaking into super new territory, but they're breaking into familiar territory, but they're extremely polished and they're extremely well put together in ways that we haven't seen before. That's what this generation is. Now, I get where people may not get their rocks off on that. That's cool. But they're still great experiences nonetheless. And you're missing out on them because you're stuck on the brand new car smell thing. Like, this was a generation that was look, I'm gonna put it to y'all like this. And again, I'm not saying this is acceptable, but sometimes things are what they are. We can't be that crybaby minded to not appreciate things that likely should have been far worse. We had the pandemic. The pandemic did fuck up a lot of shit. That pandemic should have fucked up game production so much more. Then we had Microsoft and Embracer buying up a bunch of shit, and they're letting go a whole bunch of studios. That is pandemic through gaming, and it should have a worse effect than we're actually experiencing. So things are supposed to be far off. I'm not saying be happy that there's a game being made. No, I'm just saying appreciate the fact that despite all of those woes, we're still consistently getting great games. And be thankful now that more smaller studios are now jumping into foray, and smaller studios are making great shit. Expedition 33, I point out Adamfall, and there's some other games out there that, you know, got that AAA polish that are really, you know, breaking ground when AAA games aren't always doing it. And hopefully that's enough to sustain them for this time period of this generation, that we see them do what the PlayStation 3 did, and that they pick it up in the latter years of the generation going into the PlayStation 6 generation. Let's push for that. That's why I said, let's not waste our time with this console war facade, because it's a facade. There is no more console war. I mean, we're still going to measure, as long as these are the creme de la creme platforms, PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox, we're going to critique them and we're going to judge what they're doing. But as far as like acting and pretending there's a war and this one's got the edge on it, no, it's over. You can still critique the platforms without talking like there's some type of war or one's got the edge. No, it's over. Clear winner. So let's now talk about games and the game's future. And a lot of those bumbleheads that are out here still trying to act like that Xbox is winning something, they don't have a future in talking about games, because no one would give a fuck about what they got to say about when it comes to talking about games. That's why they're trying to continue with this facade. You have to ignore them. Here's what you need if you're on an edge of the seat AAA gaming enthusiast. You need PlayStation. And my suggestion is you get a Pro. I say that, and I was educating you guys on it because I understand how AI and machine learning work. That's why when a lot of you say, Stadia really shit the bed, man. Don't you wish you never went over there? No, absolutely not. The level of education that I got on the future of gaming, as well as a peer into how fraudulent and how corrupt our journalistic system is over here, is invaluable. It's changed me forever in a positive way and have enlightened me in a way that I've never would have been enlightened. Now I can smell the frauds. I can smell them a mile away. It made me even sharper in sniffing out Phil Spencer's bullshit. That level of education is invaluable, even though it came at the cost of me investing my gaming time in a platform that ended up dying. See, a lot of you ain't been doing this as long as I've been doing it. That's nothing new. You know what I'm saying? I've been gaming for 4 decades. Most of the platforms that were out died. That's nothing new to y'all. Oh, it's an L. Oh my God, that's crazy. Just because something may not last doesn't mean that it's not worth you trying and seeing what type of innovation they bring to the market. Because if you support that thing, even though it doesn't last, people may realize why you supported it, extrapolate the best elements of it and add it into something else and make that fantastic. That's how we got the Xbox. Dreamcast, had a lot of great ideas. It couldn't survive. They extrapolated those great ideas and they created the Xbox, and the rest is history. The rest is history. So a lot of y'all young whippersnappers, wet behind the ears gamers that are like, oh, it doesn't, that's nothing new to me. But the level of education that I got in regards to AI and machine learning, I tried to cascade down to you guys. AI and machine learning has to build itself. The AI has to learn, it has to duplicate the process and the formula over and over again. And the great thing about AI and machine learning, unlike native gameplay, in a lot of ways, is what you get on day 1, you're not getting even on day 20. By day 20, this thing has drastically changed. That's why, remember, even though it was only like 8 to 10%, where we saw like 8 to 10% of the PlayStation 5 Pro games have issues, and that drastically dropped with the round of updates and stuff that they were able to discover. I learned that from Stadia. You buy a Stadia game day 1, the most successful game on Stadia was Cyberpunk 2077, right? Cyberpunk 2077, day 1, for a lot of us that got the game, it looked like dog shit. It looked like dog shit. There was not that much difference from, now there wasn't the bugs, but it wasn't that much difference in visual performance than what was on the last gen consoles. But the AI and machine learning started training itself within 5 days' time. That's how it got all of its popularity, is how it looked then. So with AI and machine learning, what you get day 1 isn't what you get even day 5. I tried to educate you guys on that, but I learned that from my experience with Stadia. So now, fast forward, that's why I'm telling you guys, if you have the disposable income, it's worth getting a Pro. Because all that silly crap that they were talking about the Pro before, and look, the Pro is not going to be the perfect solution for every game. Why? Because you still have the element to where the game developer has to embrace it and embrace it properly. That's with anything. We got games out here on these 59 or 5080s that are performing like dog-ish because they're poorly optimized. Does that make the well, if you ask my brother Coldblood, 5080 is a scam, but does that make the 5080 a weak piece of hardware? No. But if a game is poorly optimized, it's poorly optimized. I don't disagree with them that the scammery of the 5080, but
the 5080 is just an update for the 4080 with more AI capabilities.
Yeah.
And it's more explosive than the 4080 was. I mean,
it got more bang for your
exactly.
Yeah, but it's not a weak piece of machinery because it's very explosive. But it's not. But if you got a game that performs like crap on the 5080, that you got to look at the developer. So there's not a silver bullet solution here. There's not something that you're going to create that's going to take a game and bust out all the flaws that a developer has in the game and make it perform great. There's no silver bullet solution like that. And the Pro isn't one either. But if you're a AAA, genre defining, edge of your seat gamer, that's your best option. But if you want to get a base PlayStation, fine, get a base PlayStation. So what you definitely need, number 1, is a PlayStation 5 device, a PlayStation 5 console. I won't say device because the PlayStation 5 Portal or the PS Portal is a device. That's an accessory. You need a PlayStation 5 console, okay? Once you get your PlayStation 5, then I think you need to shore it up. I do think if you got this, I do think having a PC should be part of your portfolio. Now, you can go about this in different ways. You can do what my brother does, build him a top 5% rig and enjoy the spoils of PC gaming natively. He has a really good rig, and you can enjoy what he enjoys natively. Or you can do what I do and say, look, I don't want to spend all that money all at once. And you can get you a rig that can take advantage of NVIDIA GeForce Now Ultimate and play your PC games through there. That's what I do. And I get great performance out of NVIDIA GeForce Now Ultimate. We got a streaming channel. It's called MM2K Gaming Streams. You can go check it out. Check out the 4K streams in NVIDIA GeForce Now Ultimate. Your most picture quality clarity is going to come out of the 1%, buying the 1% parts, which isn't going to be cheap, and doing what my brother did. You can get very close to that through streaming. Through NVIDIA GeForce Now Ultimate, that is. And you can, play all the great PC games there because now they're launching day and date there on NVIDIA GeForce Now Ultimate. Even the best tier of Game Pass, which clearly is PC Game Pass, at like $16 a month. That is unless you do what I do and go get codes. And I find codes for like $12, anywhere between $8 to $12. Clearly the best tier of Game Pass is the PC Game Pass tier. You can even enjoy that. So if you have that and you have NVIDIA GeForce Now Ultimate, you can enjoy 1 to 5% top tier gaming without having to shell 1 to 5% top tier money all at once. Cons are there's a cap on it. It's like 100 hours. And so if you're like, oh no, I would gain more than 100 hours on peak, but that's what I'm saying. It would be a good supplement to your PlayStation 5 or preferably your PlayStation 5 Pro. If you're going to be gaming that much on PC and you're generally a console gamer that just likes AAA genre defining games, then just get you a Pro and get NVIDIA GeForce Now as a backup. And do most of your gaming there except for one-off occasions. That's what you need. That's what I have. I mean, I don't have enough time to enjoy all the gaming that I get. And then I added a portal, which I'll talk to that's made it even fucking worse. My wife wants to take that thing and boomerang it to the highway. That's what you need. You don't again, if you have an Xbox and you're enjoying it, fine, not a problem. Not telling you to throw it away. I'm talking about for those that are on the market that are looking to upgrade, that's trying to figure out their way. You don't need an Xbox. The best thing that Xbox has to offer is PC Game Pass. You can get PC Game Pass through NVIDIA GeForce Now. End of story. Now, if you're a gamer that isn't all about, balls to the walls, bells and whistles, AAA game, you just want great gaming altogether, you can replace NVIDIA GeForce Now with the Nintendo Switch 2. If you just want the IPs, the popular IPs that come with Nintendo, okay, go get you a Switch 2. Fine, whatever. You can get all of their popular IP over there instead of getting NVIDIA GeForce Now, because whatever's on NVIDIA GeForce Now, unless it's a PC exclusive, you're going to be able to play on on the console. But if you're like, nah, I want access to it all, and you got the income, PlayStation 5 first, preferably the Pro. PC Game Pass, PC Game, oh no, not PC Game, NVIDIA GeForce Now Ultimate, Nintendo Switch 2, and if you like PC Game Pass, okay, fine. Play it through NVIDIA GeForce Now. You don't need an Xbox. You don't need Xbox related hardware. The best offering that Xbox can give you right now is PC Game Pass. Period. All right. Phil Barr says, salute everybody. Okay, so let's do this. Let's get right into the show, Cold Blood. Let's talk about it. Let's first get into the Xbox news. Let's see here. Let me see if I can find Oliver Darko's see if I can find his tweet where he makes fun of our good friend Boomstick. Here it goes. Let's see here. Was it him? I think it was him that had it. No, I did not. Crap. I didn't bookmark it. I thought I bookmarked it. Damn it. Hold on. It says, hold on. Here go. Before we get into this, let's see. I did bookmark this for some reason. Let me see this. Let's take a look at this. So this is from Oliver Darko. Here, let me take this off right now. It says, Xbox podcaster are spilling facts other people are afraid to mention. Fawns, did you know PlayStation has more games on Steam than even Rockstar? Colt Eastwood, no, I didn't know that. In the last 15 years, Rockstar released 4 games, Sony released more than 40. Okay, so hold on. But we'll get into that on the PlayStation point. That's not relevant. I thought this was something else. Okay. Let's see here. What is going on here? Okay. All right. Let's see. Oliver Darko. I know you got the video, brother. Hold on. What about this, man? This is a what you guys think about this ad? Let's play this. This is, I think this is, Mike Yabar talked about this campaign, and I just think it's god awful. Let me go to voice meter. Let's play this and let's get your thoughts on it. This is the Xbox ad campaign. They played in the UK. Let's go.
Hi, I'm an Xboxer, and this is an Xbox. How? Punch in xbox.com/play. Hook up your controller and knock yourself out on any of your games while on the go. This is an Xbox.
Boss.
So that was comparing the two. That was comparing the two ads for their recent implementation.
Wait, Moss. Was I talking for a video? I didn't even notice it was playing someone else.
No. Were you talking through the video? No. No, I couldn't hear you.
Okay.
No, you're good.
No, I was about to say, I mean, I could probably ask ChatGPT, literally Microsoft's AI, to make a better marketing than this one. Bro,
Yeah.
what the fuck was that?
Yeah. That was that's bad. And the problem with it is this, and like I said, they don't even know how to properly poise the vision. The problem, so how can you expect them to even know how the device should operate, let alone be able to put it together, if they could figure out what they wanted out of this thing? Xbox making fun of its nostalgia. Can you imagine a PlayStation video where they're making fun of Uncharted? This is how our games used to, you know what I'm saying? Or making fun of Gran Turismo. Like, that's basically what you're doing. All these things all of the themes that are in that commercial are the things that made you popular in that era. And it's the thing that made you even relevant and a true competitor at that time. And people wish you went back to that era as far as competition and innovation, and you're making fun of it. It's just stupid and tone deaf, and I don't know what else to say but to tell people that I don't know what you guys expect from Xbox, but they've made up their mind. They are trying to pivot to a new style gamer. They think that the cloud gaming community that left Stadia, that went over to Xbox, and they think that TikTokers that may probably play a little bit of Fortnite, but then go directly back to TikTok. They think that that is their current demo for Xbox, and that they can bring them into the fold. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to signal to those gamers, look, you guys game differently. We get it. You guys are different. Because you're different, we're going to throw rotten tomatoes and cabbages at the people that are keeping the lights on. We now want to appeal to you. Fully with all the things that they cherish. We're all about what makes you right now. And that's stupid because Xbox is not a company that is starting from the ground up without a consumer base. Like, you're only relevant now because of that consumer base that finds those things to start. So the people that are keeping your lights on, it's not the niche market of the cloud people that are left over from the Stadia days. It's not them that's keeping your lights on. You may see some growth there, but look, 1 + 1 is 100% growth. You understand? We had 100% growth. I sold 1 cup of lemonade today, and we sold 2 cups. Oh my gosh, the lemonade is going to explode. No, just because you're seeing a percentage growth by what they're doing, that does not make them your new base. Your job as one of the richest companies in the world was to figure out, or with one of the richest companies in the world backing you, being your parent company, your job is to figure out, how do we extrapolate these people that are keeping our lights on and transition as many as possible over to our new direction and make it feel organic? You don't do that by telling people, oh, you were fools in the things that you cherish. This is the new way. Look at this little small group of people here. The way that they're doing things, that's the way. That's not how you do it. That has never worked. It didn't work for Xbox during the Xbox One era. When Xbox tried to get people to get into DRM, even though the whole DRM proposal now in hindsight really wasn't as horrible as it was people weren't ready for it at the time. People wanted to still trade in games. Digital sales weren't where they were at. You have to transition people. You have to herd people in an accommodating way. In trying to direct your marketing in a zero-sum way where it's dismissive of one group and welcoming to another group is foolish when the group that you're welcoming to couldn't pay your light bill for one day. They can't. What are you talking about, MM? They can't pay your light bill for one day. You want to know how? Because they weren't able to keep Stadia alive. And I love Stadia. This is no shit, but it's just factual. This push that you're seeing is from the disinfected Stadia gamer who have now acclimated to Xbox. They're the ones giving you the most usage, and now you're recognizing them, but you're making it a zero-sum game. Don't make it a zero-sum game. Speak to the things that, that speak to them and bring them on board and say, hey, look, this is your section of the ship. This ship is for everybody. And here's your section. But you don't do it being dismissive to the people that are actually keeping the boat moving. The level of incompetence is mind-boggling. If PC gamers and disenfranchised cloud gamers, if they were the ticket, then A, Stadia would have never died. B, when you went day and date to PC, you would have been beating PlayStation since then. So that's not the ticket. The ticket is showing and allowing room for those that are keeping your lights on to feel welcome to the other side of the boat while opening that new side of the boat to the new people. Because that's ultimately the direction how you want the rest of the boat to look when this is all said and done. But it has to be a gradual move. And I'm going to tell you who's all behind this, just like how I told you before. I didn't have any information. See, I'm like King Thrash and Porter Rock on this. Everybody wants to be an insider. I'm not an insider. I know quote unquote insiders, and they tell me stuff. But most of the stuff that you hear from me is not derived from them. It's just fucking common sense. I'm going to tell you who this campaign is coming from. It's coming from Sarah Bond. This is Sarah Bond's puppy. Just like I told you that This Is an Xbox was a Sarah Bond thing. And then we had articles or whatever come out saying this is her lack of acclamation to the community, her belief system that they can just make this seismic shift to a group that couldn't pay their light bill in a single day. And their belief system, we're going to pull people that generally hover on TikTok. No. That's like saying, you know what? There's a lot of people, they love watching soap operas. We're going to try to pull them from soap operas. Put them on video games because we have dramatic themes here in video. No! Like, you got to create an identity, which they're not doing. This doesn't create an identity for you. All this does is just show you what you're ridiculing. So you got to create an identity. You got to be successful in capturing most of the people that relate to that identity. And then secondly, and most importantly for Xbox, you got to convince people why they want to assume this identity now. They're not doing that. So I know where they want to go. And I created a video earlier in the week where I talked about it's not like what Xbox is doing is 100% doomed. There is a small margin of hope that they can find some success here. And look, success for them is not beating PlayStation. That's not happening. Success for them is this becoming a viable market for them as a platform. But they have to thread that needle ever so perfectly, but it's not complicated. They got to do it right though. And they're doing everything wrong. Everything wrong. They don't know which direction they want to go. They're canceling shit. They're getting rid of development talent that can help, raise the brand. Like, they're doing everything wrong. And the most wrongest thing that they're doing is now their biggest creme de la creme. You can game everywhere with our property. You can game everywhere. The PlayStation is kicking their backs in with that. Now, granted, don't get me wrong. PlayStation Cloud Gaming is not available in so many places, but can I tell you something? Can I give you guys a little secret? Let me give you a little secret. I wanted a portal. So I'm like, where can I get a portal? Went online, started seeing that the PlayStation Portal on Amazon was doing hella successful. Matter of fact, let me see. Top selling video games. Oh shit. Amazon. Video games bestsellers. Let me see here. Ooh, there goes something I can get. God damn it. No, it's just giving me accessories. Hold on. Can't find that link. All this, it's not giving me consoles for some reason. It's just giving me accessories, controllers, and some games. Let me see. PlayStation Portal. Let me see. Because I looked this morning because I'm looking for a carrying case for my PlayStation Portal. Here, let's. PlayStation Portal plus case. Oh, damn. Oh, they're doing so well now. You can't even get a PlayStation Portal by itself. Except the black one. All the white ones are gone. Oh, so why isn't it showing? Okay, it's not doing it now. It's not showing me what it's ranked. It was doing it earlier. So when I was looking on the PlayStation Store, the PS Portal was top 100 or top 50. I can't, whatever it is, either 50 or 100. I can't remember. And the fucking PlayStation Portal accessories, like one accessory was in the top 25. I'm like, holy shit. And then there was accessories that I put in my basket, like last night, that when I went this morning to go, pull the trigger on it, they were fucking gone. But on top of that, I went to GameStop. I went to a GameStop that I was able to get my PlayStation PS5 Pro from, because I don't even know how this GameStop is still open. It's a GameStop that not a lot of people know about. And if you're running light on something and you want to go to this GameStop because they get a lot of trade-ins, but they don't get a lot of activity in there. I don't know what the fuck's going on with this GameStop. When my PlayStation 5 Pro that I originally was going to get from Best Buy, when that transaction went under, that's where I went, and that's where I, got my PlayStation 5 Pro launch day. Anywho, so I go to this GameStop and I look for a portal. They always have stuff. They had none. They didn't even have any new ones to sell. They were all sold out. Mind you, if you guys remember when I told you about the PlayStation, when I got my PlayStation 5 Pro, these guys in here, for some reason, that's probably why they don't do any business. These guys, for some reason, are Xbox lovers. It was the same two guys from when I bought my Pro last year. They were in there again. Hey, looking for a portal. Sorry, we don't have any. What? Like the last one I had, I just sent to McKnight Road. Just somewhere out by the mall. For real? Like, yeah, like we don't have any. Like those things are going like crazy. Like, and then the one guy said, "You're finally, PlayStation." They had to be all sourpuss about it. Finally, PlayStation is coming out here and they're making their games accessible. And it sounds like that their cloud service is decent. So, it's selling out all of a sudden, and people are buying that thing. Now it's not useless anymore. I guess people are buying it. I had to be all sour about it. I'm just laughing on the inside because I'm like, these motherfuckers don't know who I am, and they don't realize that I just know how bitter and how much haters they are. But okay, the gist of it is they have no more PlayStation portals, which is fucking crazy. I said, okay, I'm going to go to another place where I know people really don't know about. And I don't even like going here because the neighborhood is so bad that when you walk into this GameStop, they have one of those recordings that you hear at like a Family Dollar in a bad neighborhood. This place is, we're monitoring you and we're watching you. Please enjoy your dead GameStop. I like, holy shit. When I walked in there and I heard that, I said, wow. They're still out of GameStop like that? Like this is Family Dollar? Okay, fine. Walk in there. Do you have any PlayStation portals? Guys like, yeah, I got a couple. And them things have been going like hot. Now this group, they're the polar opposite of the other group. They're more PlayStation. Like the guy was trying to sell me a DualSense controller, DualSense Edge, all this shit. So he goes to the back and he's like, fuck, I thought we had something. My system's fucked up. I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, the system's fucked up, dude. Here, man, here's what I'm gonna do. He said, normally, the black one is supposed to be like a little bit off or whatever, or a little bit less than the white one. I'm gonna sell you a black one. I'm like, hold on, dude, I'm buying this new. but hey, and then I had like 12,000 points, but hey, he rang it up and I got a brand new black PlayStation 5 portal for the price of a used white one. Like fucking crazy. Like, man, I found my wife, she was at another mall. I don't even know how he did it. Like the stickers, whatever. I don't even care. I called my wife. I said, get the fuck in this car. We're getting the fuck out of here right now. And I just flew out of that thingy. But that's how fast the PlayStation Portal hardware where I'm at is flying. You have to ask yourself, why isn't Xbox Cloud Gaming catching on like this? For two reasons. Number one, Xbox Cloud is an Xbox item. Xbox shit their oatmeal when they announced that they were upgrading the server blades to the Xbox Series server blades, and everybody thought they were going to get this grandiose experience. I remember other cloud gamers were telling me, oh, this is going to be it. This is going to kill Stadia, GFit, everything. And I told them, I said, you guys don't have any experience with this. This is Xbox. hold your horses, and they didn't listen. And when everybody went to go play the new Xbox experience, it was hot dog water. That's when Xbox soured everybody. Now that you got GeForce Now Ultimate and you got these other services out here, Xbox has to walk out of the field and say, we are better than everybody else. They have to at least be better than PlayStation. They now have to say, we're better than everybody else, at least better than PlayStation. This whole 1440p thing ain't gonna cut it. So because number one, you have poor brand confidence. Number two, you have a subpar service in comparison to your peers who talk less about this than you do. PlayStation wasn't running around promoting cloud gaming. They just rolled out an update. Your whole mantra, one of its major pillars is cloud gaming. There should be nobody better than you at this. Not even NVIDIA. I know NVIDIA is a bigger company now as far as value, but still, it doesn't matter. NVIDIA's whole product isn't its cloud service. That's a small fraction of its product. You are supposed to be the best. And you're still far from it as far as performance is concerned. That's why I remember I created a video a long time ago, and a lot of my cloud gaming friends got mad at me. They were like, what are you talking about? This is dog shit. I said, is PlayStation the one that's going to promote cloud gaming? And the answer is yes, because Xbox continues to underperform. So excuse me, there's no reason why, if this is the pillar of your offering, that you are not the best at this, let alone a second runner-up. Even if GeForce Now Ultimate is better than you at this. Okay, NVIDIA's a bigger company now as far as market cap. They're a bigger company. Okay, you get away with that. But Sony, you're like, what, 100 times bigger as far as market cap is concerned? What we did the math, or something 28 to 50 or 100 times bigger than Sony? And their cloud service is better performant than yours? Well, you can't play on your spoon and your refrigerator and on your toilet bay. No, the majority of gamers aren't doing that. The gamers that you need to sway the realm of decision making around cloud gaming are flocking to these portals now. Even though it is a hefty $18 in order to access it, now they're flocking to it. I was lucky to find a portal. I feel like if I would have waited one more day in my region, I wouldn't have been able to get one. Now, I'm not saying they're not available on Amazon. I looked on Amazon, and it looked like that the only white ones that are available are the ones that. Hold on. Oh no, you can get a. Can you? Oh yeah, you can. No, you can get a white one. It's funny when I did the result, but it seemed, but the black ones were the only one that was showing up in my results. You got to go into where the black. I had to go into where the black one was available and switch it over to white. But the only white versions that they were advertising are the ones that are they're bundled. They're bundled with a charging station or they're bundled with a case. But you can buy a white one separately. So they're available on Amazon, but I'm just saying what people were doing were just going to local GameStops. They didn't want to wait. They just went to the local GameStops and was buying the shit out of them. So Geek to Sneak says, he says, I think the Portal is one of the dumbest. Hold on, let me pull up his comment. He says, I think the Portal is one of the dumbest purchases someone could make. Stream from your phone or tablet, just saying. I thought that too, Geek. I said, why don't you, like, I didn't believe in any of these devices. If you remember when that G Cloud came out and everybody was buying that damn G Cloud, I just thought it was stupid. I'd rather just stream from my phone, but having a dedicated device for, like, being able to stream from your phone is something that I did regularly with the Vision 2 or whatever, but it pales in comparison to having a larger device with a bigger screen, a $200 device that is, that feels like it has little to no latency whatsoever. The cloud is just phenomenal. You can't beat that. So if I were to game on my phone, which can be an inconvenience, if you get a whole bunch of notifications and all this other shit, it's too much of an inconvenience. Then you gotta, and then I don't play with the touch controls, so then I gotta add like a backbone or something to it, and I got a phone case. That's just too inconvenient for me. So then when you talk about just gaming on a tablet, well, there's no $200 tablet that's going to play these games the way that you're going to play them. So then you say, well, why don't you just grab the G Cloud and jailbreak the streaming? Because I think there is a way to still do that, jailbreak the streaming on there. There are apps out there that I think can still allow you to do it. They're not as good as this. They're not. It's not as good. No, the responsiveness and all, it's not. Trying to jailbreak it on another device, no. It's possible, but if you're a mainstream gamer that's used to a certain, like if you're a cloud gamer where you can sacrifice latency or whatever because you're used to it in some of the lesser performant services, okay, fine. But if you're a mainstream gamer, you're like, look, man, I want this to feel, if I'm going to even bother with this, I want this to feel close to my PlayStation experience as possible. And so said latency is noticeable. You don't want the jailbroken versions. The jailbroken versions are not going to work for you. They're not going to work for a mainstream gamer. They may work for a cloud gamer. They're not going to work for a mainstream game. So I got one, and I'm here to tell you, Geek. Well, I only paid like $150 something for mine because of a purchase error. That happened to me one time out Best Buy too. I was buying a TV, and it was an open product, and someone had just brought it in that day, so they were only supposed to mark like $30 off, and they ended up marking like $200 off or something like that off the TV. Man, I had that TV sticking out my trunk. It was my wife, and my mother-in-law. I jumped in the back, drive. So I got lucky like that again. But yeah, for let's just say the normal retail of $200, it's more than worth it. I think it's more than worth it. A dedicated device for your on-the-go gaming, only $200. I mean, do I wish it could do more? Like, would I love to be able to play GeForce Now on this? Absolutely, but it is what it is. And I understand why they're doing it. They want you to buy the device. So he says, I have a backbone in my phone case, Yeah, see, for me, those backbones don't work with my phone. I get big phones. I always get the Pixel phones, and I always get the XLs, and I always get the thick phone cases, so they don't fit. So then I got to take the phone case off. It's just too much of a hassle for me. Too much of a hassle. I get like the OtterBox style phone cases for my phones, so it's too much of a hassle. Hold on one second. All right, have to turn that back on. Who called me? Me mother called me. I'll call her later. All right, so yeah, I have no faith in Xbox executing this plan. I don't know why you guys continue to have faith in them. As they say, you'll fuck around and find out. So whatever. You'll just fuck around and find out. But Xbox keeps shit in the bed. I have no faith in them. They now let PlayStation officially roll out a better streaming service than theirs as far as capabilities and as far as fidelity is concerned. Access points, that doesn't matter to a cloud gamer. I mean, no, it does matter to a cloud gamer. It doesn't matter to a mainstream gamer. And I hate to say this, look, you got to look at the demographics differently. Cloud gamers will help mold cloud gaming to be the best thing out there at some point in time. Cloud gamers are going to do that. When that time is going to be, we don't know, but cloud gamers are going to help do that. Mainstream gamers are what's going to make cloud gaming popular. So with cloud gamers on your side, you're going to make the product or service capable, very capable. It's very capable now, as long as you got the right one. Very capable now. Like the GFN 5080 tier is like, fuck it, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's very capable now. It's cloud gamers that did that. But it is mainstream gamers that are going to make these services popular. Until the mainstream gamers are accepting of this, it's all that platform building and whatever, it's not going to matter. What is going to get a mainstream gamer to look at a cloud gaming service and say, ooh, this is on par or maybe even better than my console or my hardware? Performance and availability of games. Now, these cloud services, they've gotten over the availability of games hump. Even Amazon Luna is starting to get games that are shocking me. Like, oh, you got the holy shit. Okay, cool. But that's just the first rail. Second rail is performance. Performance has to be up to par. And then when you have games and performance, and they got to be impressive. When you have games that are impressing the mainstream and performance that impresses the mainstream, then you knock down the third rail, which is trust. See, access points, those are party favors. You don't go to a party for party favors. Party favors can be awesome as all hell. You go to a party for the party, what you're celebrating. Access points and being able to play on the back of your spoon and to play on your printer and all other shit. Those are party favors to mainstream gamers. Mainstream gamers don't care about that. When mainstream gamers are able to do that and do that seamlessly, then they'll grow to appreciate it. But that's not pulling a mainstream gamer to a service. You have to answer the calling for the mainstay stuff. When I go sit down in front of a screen and I play this, What am I able to play? How well does it perform? All this access point shit, it's great. It's great for the internal guts and the capabilities of the service. Like, I'll give you an example. And we're kind of mixing the subject matters here. My portal, if I had one complaint, opposite of not being able to play anything else on it but PlayStation stuff, but that's a minor, that's like a greedy complaint. But my only complaint right now is that I can't stream my cloud games. Like, I just knew that I would be able to stream. So when I went into the options, I'm like, hold on, I can't stream my cloud games. Like, this is and the reason why that's a thing for me is because every cloud service, well, I don't know if Xbox, you can do that. You probably can't with Xbox either. I don't know, to be honest with you. But every cloud service that I really enjoyed, that I was really into, that I was like, yeah, I'm adding this to my portfolio, I'm able to stream. Like, even Amazon Luna, you can stream to Twitch. You know what I mean? GFN, you could set up normal streaming techniques and be able to stream there. Stadia, of course, had the Stream Connect thing, or allow you to stream where you played one session, they split the session in two. You played one session in a more crystal clear, more fidelity driven version was sent to YouTube. So I would like to see the ability for me to be able to stream my session directly from the cloud. You know what I mean? But again, this is something that PlayStation isn't going all in on like Xbox is. They're staggering the capabilities. They're seeing how popular it is, and as they progress along, they're adding parts to it. I think that's cool. So yeah, the main point is that, look, the console war is over. There's nothing competitive between these two from a market standpoint. The only thing competitive wise is what we're doing here, trying to help you gauge your options as a consumer. There's nothing as far as market, consumer purchasing or whatever that, as far as like, oh yeah, man, like we're like the mainstream community is looking at it and saying, you know what, a viable option versus my PlayStation is the Xbox. That's not happening. But you, as a more informed gamer that is aware of all these different platforms, we're trying to help you mold your decision or help you decide if you got to make a move. That's it. Outside of that, there is no global market competition. Stop listening to these idiots that thrive off of that. We told you the platforms that you need, and I'm explaining to you why I don't add Xbox to that. I don't add Xbox to it because A, they're incompetent, B, their leadership is out of touch, even with its diehard fans, and C, they're out of touch because they don't realize how bad they still need those diehard fans and how they should, frankly, convert them in a more accommodating fashion. But C, they don't care about you at all. They don't care about you. That's just a recipe for disaster. I have no faith in them. So anybody that wants to feed you this hogwash about there being some serious competition, please be mindful of the realities of the situation. Geek to Sneak says, where's Cold Blood? Cold Blood, he's probably playing Battlefield. He's probably playing Battlefield in the background.
No, I'm here.
Sean says, damn, this is live. Yeah, this is live. Shut up, Sean. Before we go over and talk about this Portal situation, Cobra, what did you think? What do you think about this whole possibility of Xbox getting GTA or the community? Let's not even play around with it. GTA 6 coming to the new Xbox, and it's coming day and date. What do you think about this rumor?
So you're just gonna play the backwards compatible version of GTA 6 on a fucking device that is gonna be probably over $1,000?
Yeah, $1,500. Yeah.
If y'all still gonna brag about a $1,500 console that is gonna outperform the PS5 Pro, y'all gotta fucking screw loose. Because at that point, you're not playing a fucking console no more. You're playing a fucking PC. And anybody that is gonna be bragging about paying so much money for the fucking Xbox hybrid, bro.
Oh shit.
You gotta be so stupid to give Microsoft your money at this point. Like, ride out this generation with the console you already got, and be done with this goddamn company. What the fuck are you doing? I would rather you buy the fucking parts yourself and build a PC before you get another Xbox.
Yeah.
No, I think it's all bullshit, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think there's gonna be an Xbox. It's gonna be just a fucking OEM system from Asus or whatever.
Yep.
And I don't even know how, bro. I don't even know if that motherfucker is gonna have backwards compatibility. I think they are confusing backwards compatibility with Xbox Play Anywhere. Which is not backwards compatibility. It's just you playing the PC version of the game you bought from the Xbox store. I don't know if anyone wants to make a PC that has parts in it that are from the Series X. Like, that would be that would be such a fucking downgrade, bro. I don't know.
Yeah. We got technologies that here's my thing. We got technologies that the hardware god Mark Cerny is working on versus Xbox, who's trying to work with PC components. PC components can be more capable, but that's not a guarantee. And this is Xbox that we're talking about. You know what I mean? This is Xbox that we're talking about. So, I mean, I don't know. You guys got to make up your mind on which direction you're going to follow. Like Cold Blood said, why are you wasting your money on this? Is a level of fandom that needs to be studied. Like, if you're that diehard Xbox person, look, Xbox Series games are not going anywhere anytime soon. Yes, that catalog is going to be shrinking and shrinking by the year. But at some point in time, you guys, you gotta, I don't know. I maybe I shouldn't even waste my energy trying to talk to that brass of the community. For you, the gamer that just wants the greatest experiences, we broke it down to you. The pros and cons and what to do, what not to do. So, all right. That's that. Let's now talk about, we talked a lot about it. Let's just wrap it up in a bun. Let's talk about this PlayStation portal update. Cold Blood, what's your thoughts on it? They've opened up cloud gaming for thousands of games. So if you purchase a game in the PlayStation Store, if you don't mind cloud gaming through it, you can play on this device. Glorious 1080p 60. I know there's reports out there that you can get 120 hertz on it. You can't. I don't think that. Yeah, the screen is a 60 hertz screen. That's why it's the price that it is. And 60 hertz is good enough for what this is trying to do. But what are your thoughts on this update? On the fact that it's in PlayStation Premier, the most expensive tier, the fact that you can buy these games, not have a PlayStation, play it in the cloud on this device. There's a lot of negativity about it from a certain group of gamers, but it seems like that most people are enjoying this update. What are your thoughts on it?
It's the best fucking update the Portal got yet.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good. I would just say they need a different tier for this motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like you pay premium just to have this device work at its full potential.
Mm-hmm.
Without premium, you're not getting most of the features, which is sad, really, because they could say, hey, we got an extra tier just for the Portal, so you don't pay the fucking premium, but maybe $5 a month for the Portal, you know? But no, you gotta pay the fucking expensive one. That's the only thing I don't like.
I was
I would not care about the premium games. I don't need them. I got more than enough games in my library. That would be more than enough for me to stream. But you still need this motherfucking premium. That's my only gripe with it.
Yeah, I would say, and I was something came across my screen from Boomstick. The level of cope is hilarious, but you got to just let them do what they do. Here's what I would say. I don't disagree with any of that. Because it is a shame, because the cloud is great, and we kind of talked offline about remote play doesn't work well for everybody. Like, I think it does for most people, but it doesn't work well for everybody. Where cloud would be better. And I was like, having conversations with different creators about this because of my experience. That's why I said that Stadia experience has been invaluable for me. I'll put it like this. I can see why Sony's doing this. Why they put it in the top tier, even though it feels shitty. So, I haven't got definitive numbers on this. I want to be very clear about that. I've talked to a lot of people that are very close to sources at these streaming companies. I've worked with, as far as making podcasts and shit, I've worked with engineers, IT people that built some of these infrastructures. Shout out to people like Random Noob, who I haven't seen recently, but I've seen. Shout out to Akash Monger, longtime supporter of our cloud platform, and someone I'm actually a fan of, even though he's a follower of us. Akash is very look for Akash Monger on Twitter. Very smart. Saw him have a conversation with Porter Rock about some of the hypocrisy when it comes to this stuff. Akash is a bad dude, and I saw him throwing darts at Doc Dark. His level of intelligence with this stuff is supreme. So being around people like that understand this from beginning to end, like people like Random Noob, they were responsible for Digital Foundry having to go back and redo their assessment of Stadia. Remember, they did that horrible assessment. Random Noob came on screen, showed where their test was flawed, and you know, I don't know who reached out to who after Random Noob did what he did, but then made them reassess their test. These are people that are very technically sound, and they're part of the Silicon Valley in a lot of ways, and whatever other regions of California, whatever. But anyway, the point that I'm trying to make is I've gotten a lot of experience from a lot of smart people with ears to the ground. Here's what I've heard. Let's take GeForce Now Ultimate, who is the standard bearer for performance. Not saying this is true. This is what I've heard. GeForce Now Ultimate, I've been told, cost around a couple thousand a session. Every time there's a game session, I don't know how they come up with that calculated figure. If it's an average of time or what, I don't know what it is, but it's like $2,000 a session. Now, whatever the dollar amount is, it's expensive. Everybody that I've talked to, whether they've given me a dollar amount close to that or not, they've said this is expensive. And yes, it's expensive. Microsoft had to pay billions of dollars for shit, for waste, to fuel Azure, because they needed biofuel to keep this thing running. I think it was $1 billion. Hold on, let me see. Microsoft buys waste for cloud power source. No. It is. It was $1 billion. Hold on. So let's pull this up. Just to show you guys, just to make sure that I do my due diligence and I share this information with you guys. So here it goes. Tom's Hardware. Microsoft buys more than $1 billion worth of excrement, including human poop, to clean up its AI mess. Company will pump waste underground to offset AI carbon emissions. So to deal with the amount of power and the emissions that go into powering this stuff, they had to buy $1 billion in shit. Now, some may say all they had to do was unplug the Xboxes and use those instead, but whatever. But they had to use $1 billion in shit due to the emissions that were involved in this. These data centers and keeping them running is very expensive. Some of these data centers are being run underwater. The state of California has now all these new emissions and new power regulations due to all these data centers. They want to put a data center out by us, where I live. And people are fighting that like shit, like that's going to destroy our power grid. There's a lot of power and a lot of money involved with the power consumption with the cloud. So I'm just going to say this. PlayStation is more than capable when it comes to this stuff. That's why when people say PlayStation is copying Xbox, that's bullpucky. PlayStation sees a trend. They're working alongside of it. The only thing is Xbox is being all loud and braggadocious about, yeah, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. PlayStation is quietly building their infrastructure until they feel like they can make it a mainstream mechanic. Where Xbox tries to convince you, this is a mainstream mechanic. You need to be able to game on your spoons in your back of your toilet seats. PlayStation is just quietly building. And then when they finally release it after Xbox did all this talking, you find out that their version is better than Xbox's version. That's the ebb and flow of this thing. But it's expensive. And here's what I'm to tell you. PlayStation is not going to take a loss on this. This is a niche desire right now. They may be the ones that push it closer to mainstream more than anybody, but right now it's niche. They don't have the data on how popular it's going to be on their side, so they're going to move ever slowly with this, and it's not going to be cheap. So basically, if you desire to do cloud gaming and you don't have a PlayStation console, you don't have a console, you're gonna get a playable, a very good and very playable PlayStation experience. You're gonna buy from our store, where we get the revenues. We ain't got to split with anybody except a third-party publisher. And you have to buy our device. And to even access the service, you have to pay our top-tier price. They're not going to lose money on this. And because of how expensive this venture is, this is why they're doing it. Remember when Xbox said that they were losing money on the cloud? What did hold on? Sarah Bowen. Xbox losing money on cloud. Let me see on xCloud. Let me see. Let me put on xCloud. In 2023, Xbox President Sarah Bowen stated that during the FTC versus Microsoft trial that the Xbox Cloud Gaming xCloud was running at a loss. And let's do this. Let's not forget. Let's not have short-term memory. Even though we're seeing growth, don't be confused by percentages. If you sell 1 cup of lemonade on Monday and sell 2 cups of lemonade on Tuesday, you do realize that's 100% growth. Or lemonade cup sales went up 100%. Or you're going to run and flock and invest in this lemonade company? Or you're going to ask, okay, it went up 100%, but okay, what were the actual numbers? The actual numbers were, you only went from 1 cup to 2 cups. Sarah Bond, Xbox Cloud is Game Pass Ultimate's least popular feature, says service is running at a loss. I don't know how much of that has changed. It's seeing growth in usage. Don't get me wrong. But they are able to compare that usage to the other usage and see how much of the revenue is associated to Xbox Cloud Gaming alone. And they are able to bump that against how much it costs to keep Xbox Cloud Gaming running. I'm not bringing this up to throw dirt in Xbox. I'm bringing this up to show you guys that even with growth, there still could possibly be money loss here. Why? Because cloud gaming is expensive, or cloud activities, period, are expensive to maintain. Period. And PlayStation isn't going to take a loss on this. They're already battling to keep an upward trend with their margins because of the cost of chips, because of the tariffs, all this other shit's out. They're releasing this and they're taking a huge risk releasing this because they're going to get more usage, which is going to increase costs. There has to be a give and take associated with it. And they've decided that they've crunched the numbers and they've decided that give and take has to be PlayStation Premium. Here's what I will say. If you guys don't like this, do what we're doing today. Do what Cold Blood's doing today. Be vocal about it, but show support. Be like, hey, I like this, but I don't want to pay $18 for it. I would pay $10 just to get access to the cloud. Sony might bite. But you got to understand, this is very, very steep business revenue wise, like I put it to you like this, Google, people talk a lot of shit about Stadia. Google was actually seeing profit on this. It was very small, but they were seeing profit on this while they did the revenue split with the developers. But it was so expensive to maintain this. Google said, with these headwinds coming in the $1 trillion tech bubble about to burst, we'd probably be better off in getting a higher rate of return investing our money elsewhere. So for all this money that we're investing in this cloud gaming service, we're getting something back, but it's too small. If we were to take that same dollar and invest it somewhere else, we would get so much back. And that's why, along with them figuring out or feeling that they would never be able to get a leg up because Microsoft bought Call of Duty, that was like the final nail in the coffin. And they looked at the final nail in the coffin was, we got this tech bubble coming. And they figured, despite them making enough to split revenue with developers, they said this money is better invested elsewhere. It's like if any of you have a 401k, you ever review your 401k and you're looking at all the options you selected and you're like, hold on. I netted 7% growth investing in this fund, but shit, this fund has been doing 15%. Let me start. So what are you going to do? You're going to take that money and you're going to start investing it in that other fund instead. Businesses do the same thing. And they were looking at the revenue that was coming in from Stadia with everything that was happening around them. And they decided, and I think was still a dumb decision made by the Alphabet company, which is the parent company of Google and Stadia. But they said, we're better investing this money elsewhere because this is expensive. Sony's not taking a loss. So if you want Sony to do what I think is a smart thing and create another tier, you got to be vocal about it and just let them know, hey, I would invest in this, man. I could really use this, and y'all need to be vocal in large numbers or they're not going to do it. They are not going to do it. Look at your screen again. Microsoft is buying $1 billion worth of poop just to deal with the emissions from the cloud. Understand that. High on Life says certain group of gamers like thrash. Laugh my ass off. Certain. What are you referring to? When I said certain group of gamers, I can't even remember what I was talking about. Let me know, High on Life, if you're still here. Geek to Sneak says, hold on one second. Yeah, let me know what you mean or what you were referring to. Maximum Carnage says PlayStation 5 Switch 2 is a better combination. And that's subjective. I'm not mad at that combination. I'm not mad at that combination. He says PC gets games too late. I'm not mad at that combination. Some people though may look at GeForce Now Ultimate and say, you know what? The way that game performs, the PC version of that game, I really want that. And I'm talking about as far as multi-plats are concerned. Oh, he says the people complaining about the PC portal, the PlayStation portal in the cloud. Yeah, shout out to my brother Thrash. Thrash, me and him look at it differently. And I tried to explain that point of view to him, like, this isn't for those that have the console. And I get it. People would love a way to play the games without having to use the remote option. right? They would rather do it through the cloud. It's too expensive. Sony's not going to eat this. And it's not me making excuses for a company. This is me letting you know the realities of the situation. Like if we look at everything, look at the whole margin battle, the microchip battle, the tariffs battle, what's going on with the goddamn yen over in Japan and shit, and its loss in global flexibility and stuff like that. They're not going to do this. If they were to just pack this in for free, the board would have a fucking aneurysm and his would be flying over at Sony. It's not going to happen. What has to happen is because that would make margins plummet because of the costs, because everybody would be doing it. Trust me. If this was free, everybody would be doing it. Where's the money generated from this? It's just lost. It's just lost in revenue for the cost of the usage on the cloud. Cloud is what I was trying to educate people on this. Nobody wanted to hear it when I was dropping edge. You didn't have to like cloud gaming. My argument, the biggest strain of my argument hasn't been you have to love cloud gaming. My biggest argument was you have to understand cloud gaming. That's what I was always arguing and fighting people with, is understanding what it was that they were talking about. Because it's going to be relevant to gaming across the board, and here it's relevant now. PlayStation is not going to absorb those costs. They're not Microsoft. They can't loss lead like that. They just got their margins on the upward trajectory again. They're not going back. So that's why I say I just see it differently. And how I see it has been fueled by my experience with these cloud costs, what it goes through to power this stuff. And the thing that is for the console person that doesn't want to pay these extra costs is remote play. That's what's for those people. For the people that don't have a console, or where, maybe remote play isn't your best option. Unfortunately, right now, selecting premium is there. But I really think that has all been established and set up for the cloud gamer, that they really feel like that they can make growth from. That disenfranchised Stadia type cloud gamer who's going to Xbox, maybe settle for Xbox, and maybe said, you know what? I can buy more games and I can get access to a cheaper subscription service. Now, yeah, I'm not getting your library day and date, but maybe I like the PlayStation games on your service better. They're trying to siphon those people off, and maybe they'll build for them. It's kind of like, and I know we want everything now. It's kind of like when this Portal first came out and it was just a remote player, and a lot of us were saying, why aren't they, like even me, I was mad. I was like, why aren't they making this available for the cloud? That's stupid. But that was just me looking at it from my prism, from a business standpoint, which we can't forget that. I'm not excusing them. I'm not arguing for them to make droves of money, but they got to see an upward trajectory. If they don't see an upward trajectory, their business fails. They lose investors, everything closes up, and then none of us benefit. We all lose. I'm not arguing for them to make $1 trillion a day. I'm just arguing, that, hey, they recognizing that, hey, they got to see an upward trajectory. There's too many costs associated for them to make this day one on the cloud, make it for free. So they had to build to that point to even make the cloud available. Now they're at that point. Maybe they will make a separate tier. They got to build to that point. But I'm letting you know right now, if they don't see the support for it, they ain't going to do it. So you got to be vocal, or you got to show that there's going to be support for it. Geek the Snick says, I don't play GTA. No day one on PC for GTA 6, so I prefer PlayStation 5. Says Maximum Carnage. All right. So, but I love the update. I think the update is great. In my experience, and I got a tweet about this. In my experience, here's what I said. Here, I'm gonna give you guys a note of caution. In my experience, I said if you bought a PlayStation Portal and you have a PlayStation 5 Pro, for select games, if not all, you might have to take the game out of its Pro mode with the in-game settings. I had to do this with Ghost of Yata and Stellar Blade to get the performance I was looking for. I did some additional research before we went live, and I discovered that what's happening is as these games are in 120 frames mode that you get from your Portal, for some reason they're kind of in that mode still. If you have a PlayStation 5 Pro, like it's looking at your profile from your console, it's looking at that profile and it's using those same settings, and those settings do not jive with the cloud version of the game, so it's messing it up. So you have to take it out of, I think you have to take, and something similar happens like when I record, let me finish that sentence. You have to take it out of the PS5 Pro settings, period. Meaning, all you gotta do is go in the game. If it's on a Pro quality mode or a Pro performance mode, just put it in a regular PS5 performance or quality mode, whatever's there. You know what I mean? Just make sure it's not a Pro mode, or make sure that 120 hertz is not trying to transmit there either. You know what I mean? That's what's messing it up, because the cloud version isn't compatible with your Pro mode, not at this moment. That being said, I'm able, again, this is where my cloud experience comes in, and what made me realize that is because of NVIDIA GeForce Now Ultimate. When I go capture my NVIDIA GeForce gameplay, I'm doing it on a capture card, and I do have to upgrade my capture card, but I'm doing it on a capture card that can only record up to 60 hertz, or it can only do up to 60 hertz for 4K. It cannot do 4K 120 yet. So I got there's cards out there that can do it. I need to upgrade my card. Cold Blood has said card that can do that. So I have to drop down the hertz on my capture PC to 60 hertz. When I go to play a game on the NVIDIA GeForce Now, if my settings in the NVIDIA GeForce Now is at 120 hertz, that's going to cause screen tearing and a whole bunch of issues, artifacting, a whole bunch of issues when I go play the game. So I got to go and change it in the in-game settings to 60 hertz and just flip it back when I'm done recording. I would assume that the same applies here. So, yeah, my suggestion is just make sure that if you do have a PlayStation 5 Pro, that you kind of take it off. And some of you are probably thinking, well, damn, Mars, I'm going to lose all those bells and whistles. I'm going to tell you this much. I feel like when they were building Ghost of Yata, they were building it knowing that this capability would release close to launch. Ghost of Yata feels like the perfect, because I've tested several games, and you could tell certain games were developed, but not necessarily developed with the Portal in mind, the way the aspect ratio and everything is, and other games were. Ghost of Yata was definitely developed with the PlayStation Portal in mind, and it feels like the perfect PlayStation Portal game. And I'm going to tell you this, when I took it off that Pro mode and put it in a regular performance mode, it still looked, I hardly noticed any difference. It still looked great on the 1080p screen. A lot of it has to do with the fact that it's a 1080p screen, but it still looked great. So that, my friends, is a perfect PlayStation Portal game. Perfect. So if you're afraid of losing the extra bells and whistles from taking it out of the Pro mode, no, don't worry about that. Just put it in its regular performance mode or its quality mode, based off the base model, and then go about your business. So, all right. What is GeForce like, says Donald Cowie, when compared to Xboxes? Well, let me pull up another tweet.
Can I talk about this?
Yes, sir.
Imagine you got $100 in one hand and a piece of shit on the other hand. And then if you're an Xbox dude and choose the shit, that is xCloud. Personally, the other guy is a fucking is living his life right now with the $100 bucks.
He's living it up.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
That's the difference, really.
Oh god. Hold on. Oh, I thought
bro, xCloud is probably the worst cloud servers we got right now. Even worse than Luna, which says a lot.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree.
Luna is free for Prime members, so they don't make much money from it at all.
No. So here's what I put up here. And I know my cloud gaming people, they get mad when I do this. But again, we gotta understand that gamers fit under different demographics. And what is satisfactory to a cloud gamer is not satisfactory to a mainstream gamer, and the lack of access points that is not a big problem for mainstream gamers is not okay to a cloud gamer. You're a different type of gamers. But the fact of the matter is, when I'm looking at and comparing what mainstream gamers are looking for, everything Cold Blood said is correct. xCloud is at the bottom as far as performance is concerned. And then at that point, the games don't even matter. The games don't even matter at that point. So here we go. I said, huge mistakes. Oh, hold on. Whoops. Let me put this out here. I said, huge mistakes I've seen on social media on how creators address cloud gaming / remote streaming. Here's some necessary corrections. Number one, remote streaming and cloud streaming are two totally different technologies. The former, you are streaming from a personal retail device. Latter's a data center. Two, there are different performance levels of each type. In my experience, there are three types regarding visuals / performance. There's S tier, A tier, and B tier. S being superior, A being acceptable, B being borderline acceptable. I rate these standards by mainstream performance standards. So in reference to cloud gaming, I just give you an example of each. The S tier, GFN Ultimate is S tier. A tier, which is acceptable, Amazon Luna. B tier, which is borderline acceptable, is xCloud. In my experience, PlayStation 5 streaming is S tier. It's not toe-to-toe with GFN Ultimate, but it has phenomenal performance and visuals. Know the difference of each and put some respect on the PlayStation 5 streaming. So hopefully that answers your question, Dave Donald Cowie. PlayStation 5 is up there in the S tier with GFN Ultimate. There is a huge gap between the PlayStation 5 cloud streaming and what really xCloud is at the bottom. If I had to give it another example, it would be Boosteroid's regular service. I really wasn't a big fan of Boosteroid's regular service. They have a 4K service too. Their 4K service is more, I would put it above Amazon Luna. It still has some things with consistency in artifacting, And this is my experience at launch. I haven't played it since it launched, so I would still put it like A tier, but you know, the best of the A tier. It's not up there at the S tier, but yeah. So there's a considerable gap between PlayStation 5. I mean, I would say PlayStation 5 is probably second to GFN Ultimate. Not saying a lot. I would say, and I haven't played it in a long time, is Shadow. Because Shadow has a new tier. They have a 4K tier now. It's hella expensive. I think it's like almost $40 a fucking month. So unless they give me a code, there's no fucking way I'll be able to tell you that. But I hear a lot of good things about Shadow. So, you know, from my experience in the S tier, it would be GFN Ultimate, PS5, and I will put Shadow under there because I've played their top tier before. Shadow's a very competent service. It's just not access point friendly. Like trying to play it on your phone and play it on different devices, it can be a pain in the ass from my experience. And it fucking prices itself out of the market. Now there's other ones that I have yet to touch yet, have yet to try. Like there's High Score and some other one, you know, I haven't tried them yet, but I'm basing it off my experience. I'm letting you know now. xCloud, like the only service that xCloud performs better than now would be Boosteroid's main tier. It's regular 1080p tier. That's the only tier that xCloud is better than. Yeah. So for a service that is at the pillar of your ecosystem, that's just not good enough. That's not good enough. So hopefully that answers your question. We've awakened TruckNet. Let's see what crazy stuff TruckNet has to say right now.
Hey, TruckNet, Halo on PlayStation. Fuck off.
He said the difference is Xbox can run GeForce Now in xCloud. PlayStation can't. That has nothing to do with the T in China. Somebody asked what the capabilities of the service are. No one's buying an Xbox to run GeForce. You gonna pay $600 to play GeForce Now? Come on, man, would you stop sniffing coke and coming to the damn stream? This motherfucker said, would you stop sniffing paint thinner and coming here? God damn it! Nobody's paying $600 for a 2 terabyte Xbox Series X to play GeForce Now. Stop it. Yeah, xCloud is 1440p 60, and it's still a compressed pixelated mess at 1440. It's still a mess. It's bad. I'm sorry. And are you even playing the service? Because you wouldn't have even thrown that out there. Like, you know that I thoroughly vet all these cloud services. You know that you can't even argue on this on this stage. So for you even to throw those numbers out, you apparently haven't played it. And what I would ask you to do, TruckNet, before you try to cap for xCloud, show me a 3-hour session of you playing on xCloud. Play it in the 1440p and show it to me. Show me where you're enjoying it. Show me where you're, where you haven't thrown up all over yourself. It's just bad. It's bad. When you compare it to it's bad. It's like I said, it's borderline acceptable. And don't, like I said, Boosteroid may be lesser performant, but you're a $1 trillion company, second largest company in the world, only behind NVIDIA. And you make cloud gaming a pillar of your ecosystem. There's no way that your service should be anything except S tier. Anything besides S tier. Donald Cowie says, I've been very tempted to buy Xbox 360 just to play Xbox era of Xbox library. Well, I mean, if you want to play 360 games, maybe buy an Xbox One. I mean, if you get a 360, you go get the 360 Slim, so you ain't got to worry about the ring of death. But the Xbox backwards compatible program is fairly decent on the Xbox One. Yeah, Big Dig Rock. Oh, this motherfucker, this name. BDR. Big Dig Rock says, this motherfucker with this name. He says, I'm surprised how well PlayStation streaming works. But why can't we stream PlayStation 3 games on the portal? You can't? I didn't realize that. That is weird. And I thought that the PlayStation 3, I think the PlayStation 3 games, here's what it could be. BDR. PlayStation right now has two different types of server clouds that are running their games. There's the legacy server clouds that were running the PlayStation 4 version of games and the PlayStation 3 version of games. That server cloud is the one that actually used to be worse than xCloud. This is what's crazy, how PlayStation leapfrogged Xbox like this when Xbox does nothing but talk cloud. But I feel like those games have to be migrated to the PlayStation 5 version, which this is the version that's playable on the portal. So until they make that conversion of those games and get them off those server blades and add them to the PlayStation 5 server blades, unfortunately, you won't gonna do that. And again, it's because of the usage. It's because of the usage. They're trying to keep costs low as possible. Jax82 says you can only stream PlayStation 3 games through Premium. I thought you can stream them through Premium, and Premium's the only way you could use cloud on a portal. So it's not that, Jax. It's the problem is which servers they're using. It's not on the updated servers. No, truck, stop. No. I know you said you prefaced it with I think. No. That's not happening. We had this conversation before, truck. No.
What bullshit is he spewing now?
He said, I think the PlayStation Cloud is currently running on Google Stadia servers. What do you think about that? We know that it's not running off of PlayStation hardware. Like, stop. Number one, stop. It's man. There are no more Stadia servers. They shut Stadia down completely, broke up the technology within Google, and now Google is running something called Google Gateway Cloud, where it's a back-end infrastructure. There is no more Stadia servers. Stop. You are not educated in this area. I will not address you any further on this. I'm only going to educate you here. I'm going to take 10 seconds to do it, and then I'm going to shut up. There is a Tom's. No, there. What's his name? Is it Tom? No, not Tom Hall. Tom. What's the guy from Insider Gaming? Tom something. I forgot his name. But he has Insider Gaming has an article on this, on the new or Dr. Spaceman Gaming, if you're listening, please drop the link here for TruckNet. So you shut the fuck up. No, but Truck, these are specialized AWS servers that they're running off of. It don't matter if they're proprietary servers or not. They have to update and maintain costs for them. They run the proprietary tech for the cloud gaming portion of it, and they're costly. And the technology is better than xCloud, so it doesn't matter. That makes it even worse. Xbox owns the back end and the front end, and it's trash. And Azure, by many rights, if you know anything about cloud business, Azure, even though there's more AWS servers being used, Azure is considered a better cloud gaming infrastructure. So despite that, Xbox has to fuck things up again. They slapped on a front-end experience that's trash, and it nullifies all of the benefits of Azure. That's how trash it is. That you're making my argument for me. So no, you're not educated in this field, sir. Please stop, sir. I'm talking this crazy rabbitness. Stop, sir, please. Oh gosh. Tom Henderson, thank you, Jax. Tom Henderson already wrote an article breaking down the new PlayStation and PS5 infrastructure. Let me see if I can find it. Tom Henderson, PlayStation Cloud details. Here it goes. Okay. Project Chronos is what it was called. Oh no, this was earlier. Was this? No, this was 2023. All right. If this is the right article, I'll put this article up here real quick. It was rumored, TruckNet, that, and we were hopeful that, because what was Stadia had a, Google Stadia had cloud servers, a back-end service that they were trying to market. I forgot the name of it. And a lot of us were hopeful that, you know, Stadia would live through this back-end service and it would power the next cloud. But here's what I tell you. Here's what I will tell you that I have inside information on. There was a conversation that was had about it. That, you know, PlayStation was looking into new technologies and they were looking into this. However, Google ultimately decided that they were going in a different direction. They decided, because here's the thing, which a lot, and then this is all associated to costs. What a lot of people don't know is that Google Stadia actually was not compatible with Google Cloud. Google Stadia was a technology made by Dov Zimmerig, and I forgot the other guy's name, formerly of IGN. They created this. Google discovered the service, they bought the technology, left the creators on, brought the creators in to continue to support the technology. Even though they were impressed with the technology was not compatible with Google Cloud. There was a lot of in-between work and stuff which cost money that had to be created in order to make Google Stadia work with Google Cloud. So when all those costs were associated, and even the back end service, which I forget the name of it, they decided again, is our money worth it investing? Is our dollar, our rate of return of investing in this Google Stadia thing, are we going to get enough rate of return, or is it better invested elsewhere? They decided that it would be better for them to just scrap Stadia and just provide back-end service with Google Cloud. So that's the service they from what I understand, they're still currently providing for Call of Duty. I don't think Azure's taken that over yet. I could be wrong, but that's the back-end service that they provided for Call of Duty, and that they're providing for other streaming technologies. Like there's the streaming technology that Nintendo uses. It's powered by Google Cloud. Not anything Stadia related, but Google Cloud. So yeah, that's what's happening there. They completely closed down the Google Stadia technology, went with their own cloud service as the back end to gaming stuff, and it's called Google Games with Cloud. So what I was told, there were conversations, but they decided it was just better to invest their monies into that. So Google Stadia is no more. High on Life says, side note, just updated my Xbox One after not using it for nearly 8 years. Never installed Halo Master Chief Collection on it, but I did and had to do nearly 115 gig update. Laugh out loud. Wow. Insanity. All right, so let's look at this article, y'all. Earlier this week, which was in 2023, PlayStation 5's cloud streaming beta officially rolled out to some PlayStation 5 users, and whilst we were only able to gather the streaming will support up to 4K, insider gaming sources have provided us with more information on the streaming architecture. So pay close attention, TruckNet. Internally named Project Kronos, we previously reported this as Kronos, the new streaming architecture aims to build a robust PlayStation 5 streaming experience that will serve as a major step forward in the company's growth and ever-growing market. It's understood that the development of Kronos began 5 years ago due to the complexity surrounding the PlayStation 5's SSD. Whilst the SSD is very fast in the PlayStation 5, it created a new challenge that made it impossible for Sony to develop the infrastructure needed using the current technology. Okay, whatever. Who cares about that stuff? Sources said that Sony will have a total of 28 data centers across 15 metros for the PlayStation 5 cloud streaming rollout, with its plans to fully launch the feature in fiscal year 2023. Let's see. Okay, I'm looking for infrastructure details. They're not. Hold on. Let's see here. This meant that Sony, under the Future Technology Group, designed a completely new network storage solution based on. Okay, hold on. Let's maybe this is the report. As it says, the update, as revealed by myself in August 20, will include the full. Hold on. Okay, there was another Tom Henderson story where they break down the infrastructure of it. And so they're using AWS. They're using AWS. Hold on. Let's see. It's up to 4K. Is this it? Okay, that's not it either. But they're using AWS, which is Amazon. They talked about in the other articles how they rebuilt the system. So it's a completely revamped system, and the technology again puts it up there where I feel like it's only second to NVIDIA GeForce Now Ultimate. So. And I'm sad to see Xbox underperform here. I'm sad to see it, but that's the story of Xbox. Any final thoughts on this, Cold Blood, before we talk about GTA 6?
No, go ahead.
All right. Last but not least, let's go to GTA 6. So, as we all know, GTA 6 was delayed. The new date is what, November 19th, I think. Let's look that up real quick. GTA 6 delay. GTA 6. I'm thinking about the Dark song. GTA 6. But I will say this, that GTA 6. Oh, what? Oh, they got some responses from people from Stranger Things on the GTA 6 delay. Breaking Cooney. Oh, come on. What is going on here? How could GTA 6 November delay? Maybe if I put November in here. Oh my gosh. November 19th. Okay. All right, so let's do this. Culture Crave reports that GTA 6 is now being delayed to November 19th, 2026. The statement from Rockstar reads like this. Hi everyone, Grand Theft Auto 6 is now released on Thursday, November 19th, 2026. We're sorry for adding additional time to what we realize has been a long wait, but these extra months will allow us to finish the game with the level of polish you have come to expect and deserve. We want to thank you again for your patience and support. While the wait is a little longer, we are incredibly excited for players to experience the sprawling state of Lenodia and a return to modern day Vice City. Sincerely, Rockstar Games. Coldblood, what do you think about this delay? What are your thoughts?
And expected.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think.
Where was the damn trailer? We've been waiting on a trailer. We did not get a single fucking trailer since the last one.
Yeah.
Which was a while ago now. So yeah, very much expected. I think you said something about it's not going to be delayed, but I was skeptical about that.
Well, did I say it or did I can't remember, or did I doubt it? I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not surprised, nor am I too fazed by it. I don't know how you feel about it. I just think like this sucks for other games. There's nobody wants to release around this game. So now you're making people scramble and it is affecting us. So it's like, figure it out. I know it's, me saying that to Rockstar, they're like, oh, fuck you. Who are you? But like, figure this shit out, man. Like, this needs to be the definitive date. This needs to be the definitive date because they could delay it 6 times and people are still going to buy the shit out of it. My problem is you're fucking up other great games in their potentiality of releasing because they don't want to launch around you. Like there has to be an honor amongst thieves even. Like we see what we're doing to the industry. We know, we got to think about us first and foremost, but like if you're given a date, I feel like only under the most severe circumstances should you not make that date, especially if you've already made a delay. When you said May, that should have been it. unless you got hacked. I see something if you got hacked or some shit and shit got stolen, something like that. I get it.
Some of the employees shared some shit on Discord.
Yeah.
And that's why 40 of them got fired.
That's a rumor. I saw something else where somebody said that's not related. Like they say it's not related, and they're having an issue. They're having an issue polishing, and they don't want to do crutch. And we talked about that. Well, we talked about that offline. That shit.
Oh yeah, that was my fucking guess from the beginning. All this talk about we ain't gonna do no crunch at all, and I'm like, what the fuck? This is literally what made games back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
If you got a release date, crunch is what you had to do to get it done until this date.
Yeah.
Now, if these people are too fucking soft to do it, bro, fire the motherfuckers and get people that are actually gonna do the damn job.
Yeah. Crunch.
Because I am tired of this, bro. Like I want everybody to crunch. Like we ain't no longer in no goddamn COVID or nothing, bro. Get it done.
Get her done. All right, they said it's a cross between not wanting to crunch and them having a problem with specific chapters, optimizing specific chapters. My thing is, if you had to know that a while ago, and if you know you're going to be this tepid about crunch, why the fuck would you say? Why would you give a date? Why wouldn't you just say we're pushing it to 2026? Or we're pushing it to second quarter 2026. Like, I wouldn't give a date. I don't know what,
bro. I don't know even why they gave us a date.
A date in the first place.
They should never have gave us a date until they were certain. This is how much time we really need, and that's it. We're done. And then tell us the date. They had to fuck with us like that now. Come on.
I think what happened too, which was stupid on their behalf. Remember that guy, the kid that hacked their shit and released some of the footage or whatever? And I think like it was a little bit after that they released a date, if my memory serves me correct. That should hold no precedence. That you know, you get the kid spanked and you still do what you're going to do. I don't understand. BDR says, I heard they're having problems with CB Kids C and base versions like Cyberpunk did with PlayStation 4. Yeah, I heard a couple of chapters. BDR says this dev knows that they're going to get laid off soon, so they try to unionize to get a good severance package. Rockstar said, nah. Ron, here goes Ron. I don't know who's crazier now, Ron Slusher or Trucknet. Ron says GTA 6 is coming to Switch 2. That's why it's delayed. Yeah, okay. Here goes Trucknet. There it goes. We have a new segment. There goes Trucknet with this crazy shit. All right. Remember what I told you? Listen to this, Cold Blood. Remember what I told you that Xbox could drop next year to line up with its 25-year anniversary, and that their lineup of Gears, E-Day, Fable, Forza, and Horizon 6, and Halo, their anniversary is November 15th. Seems possible. So what are you saying? Are you doing what we clowned in our first segment? Are you saying that this is dropping day and date on the new Xbox? And this is something new to me. I actually see people are mad about this. So I think somebody from, and speaking of Insider Gaming, I think it was Insider Gaming. Was it Insider Gaming or somebody else had mentioned that Xbox might be in trouble because of this. Yeah, they could be in trouble. Number one, it's just what Trucknet said. all these fucking games, any of these games could be launching around that time period. And yeah, that's gonna fuck with Xbox, because if anything, if they, let's just say if they do drop the new hardware at that time, GTA 6 ain't coming to that. It's coming to the legacy, the series hardware. It might be emulated on the new hardware, but ain't nobody paying $1,200-$1,500 for that. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to go get a PlayStation 6, and PlayStation would gladly say, you know what? We'll hold back our shit and give GTA 6 its breathing room. Here's what I think people don't realize. People that are getting upset about this. Do you think that y'all keep forgetting this shit? That's why when I hear people say console sales don't matter, they don't understand the business. But this proves that you don't have a good business acumen. Explain to me, if PlayStation is just selling consoles, why are they making more money than Xbox, who's putting their games everywhere? Why? And I think there's like a $7 billion fucking difference. A $7 billion fucking difference. And Xbox is putting. So if it's about just purely game sales, first party game sales, why is PlayStation making $7 billion more than Xbox? Why? Because they are selling more consoles. What do console sales equate to? More sales from your store. That's where these companies make most of their money from. With all the games that Xbox has made last year, or over the last 12 months, rolling calendar year, they put out a shit ton of games. They put out more games than PlayStation. Why is PlayStation making more money? Because more people are buying shit from PlayStation stores than they are Xbox stores. Not that Xbox is selling games everywhere. That has nothing to do with the tea in China when it comes to a platform. Your money is made from the shit that you sell from your fucking store. Walmart. Is Walmart making most of its money selling Nabisco cookies, these cookies, or Member Mark cookies? They're making their money from everybody buying the Nabisco cookies, all the other cookies, and they get a cut of that. Here. They don't have to produce it. All they got to do is provide the shelf space. You absorb the cost, cookie maker. By the way, we'll sell our own cookies too. We'll make some money off of that. But the real scratch comes from us getting a percentage of what you sell off of our shelves. So, if PlayStation is in the business of simply selling games from their store, and Xbox's business is more geared towards us selling games, who is more impacted by GTA 6? Is it a publisher or a store provider? The third-party publisher is more impacted. Because the 1% growth that they saw last quarter and the money that they saw before the quarter of that was all made possible because of what? Sales on PlayStation. That's how powerful the PlayStation Store is. If during this period where you drop Gears E-Day or you drop any of these games on the PlayStation Store, Grand Theft Auto is available, guess what happens? Your game doesn't get bought Xbox. Grand Theft Auto gets bought. Guess who still gets paid? PlayStation. The remedial brain exercises that you guys jump through every day to come up with the dumb versions of the reality here is mind-boggling. Of course, Xbox is more impacted by this. PlayStation can simply say, fuck it, we'll release our games later. Well, fuck it, we'll release our games earlier. We don't care. Because we're still going to make money off of GTA. And we're going to make the most money off of GTA. Xbox will make some money off of GTA, but it will pale in comparison to what PlayStation makes. What Xbox is going to need to do in 2026 is not only make money off of GTA, but strategically align their games on PlayStation to make money as well. Elsewise, they're up shit's creek. Xbox's success hinges on them selling their games on PlayStation now. It's the only thing that's keeping them afloat. So when GTA 6 comes out, that shortens the window of when they could sell their games. Selling first party games is not the bread and butter of PlayStation. Is it true that PlayStation wants to expand by selling its games in more places? Absolutely. I am not in denial of that. But that's not at the center of PlayStation's success. The center of PlayStation's success, even today, is appealing to consumers with their games and having them and convincing them to buy a PlayStation so they can get the real money by you buying all your third-party games from PlayStation Store, which they get a cut of. So that's why PlayStation is more profoundly like, don't you release when you release. We'll put our shit back or put it for whatever. It impacts them significantly less. It doesn't harm them hardly at all. Because their bread and butter is sitting back, putting your shit on their shelf and letting people buy it and them just getting their cut. That's how they're able to make $7 billion more than Xbox, even though Xbox is coming out with more games and putting more games in more places. Y'all don't understand the business and what makes it work. Why don't you understand this? Because you've allowed PlayStation fanboys to continue to play rope-a-dope with you. Last generation, at first it was, oh, your hardware's not powerful enough. It was the power narrative. Then you come out with the Xbox One X. Well, y'all ain't got no games. Then y'all get more games. Oh, y'all ain't got no first-party games. Now y'all got a bunch of first-party games, and you're still behind. You're even behind even more. As they kept deflecting and pointing you in different directions, PlayStation doubled down on the business that made sense, creating an ecosystem and filling it with games that were good enough to make people say, yes, I'll buy a $500 box for that. Hell, the PlayStation Store is so profound that now people are saying, shit, I'll buy a $700 box or a $750 box to play a particular third-party game via PlayStation in GTA 6. I mean, there's running jokes, and our good friend Doc Dart got their GTA 6 rap, but everything about GTA 6 is being treated like a first party, where PlayStation is simply, they're saying, fuck, Wolverine can go forward, it can go back. That's not where they make their money. As long as gamers know that Wolverine is coming, it can release early. If it's ready, it can sit on the shelf. Their bread and butter is going to be GTA. Just collecting the 30% from GTA 6 is going to bring them more money than fucking Wolverine ever would. I'm sorry. Why? Because there's no cost associated with it. It's all revenue. It's all profit. It's all profit because Rockstar is absorbing the cost. So when PlayStation collects, it's all profit. While PlayStation fanboys kept playing rope-a-dope with you guys, your fucking stupid ass Xbox execs fell for it, and they kept, deflecting and playing over here when they should have been focusing on a great enough ecosystem, a great enough library of games that made people want to buy that $500 box. That's it. That's the name of the game. That is it. That's all they had to do. Yeah, PlayStation gamers are buying Xbox games. Yeah, sure, they're buying them. They're like, oh, this is cool. Okay, fine. But they weren't good enough for them to buy the box. That's the problem. So I don't get the anger. It's just reality. Being that Xbox is more of a publisher than anything now. They are more of a publisher. Like other publishers, they are strategically hurt by this. PlayStation has the marketing rights. GTA 6 is synonymous with PlayStation. This is what PlayStation does best. This is why they're ahead of Xbox. They get to sit back and say, I'll collect my 30%. And there's going to be way more 30% to collect for them than there will be for Xbox, period. Well, Xbox will need a culmination of selling GTA 6, which it will sell on Xbox too. It'll make them some money. Nowhere in comparison to PlayStation, but it will still make them some money. And they still got to sell these games. They have to. The proof is in the pudding. I won't argue with y'all. Y'all argue PlayStation ain't been dropping no games. First party has been dropping 1 to 2 games a year. Yes, true. And guess what? They're still ahead of Xbox significantly. That's not the core of the business, is releasing first party games. It's releasing enough first party games to attract people to your console, which attracts people to your store, which brings you the most revenue. So really, TruckNet doesn't even realize that he argued on our behalf. This hurts Xbox more than anybody because actually they've been the most active AAA, or if you want to call it AAA, but they've been the most active publisher as of late. Really active. There's no denying that. They have a strategy to where, and they're fulfilling that strategy. Finally, they're fulfilling something where they're dropping a game every quarter. Not being able to drop that game, or if you drop it, it's going to get smothered by GTA. That's going to hurt Xbox significantly. Because GTA 6 is going to smother everything. It's going to smother November, December, January, February, March. You might not be able to drop something till April, May. If you got a AAA game that you're trying to put out there. Trucknet says Xbox will be 100% the best place to put you. Oh God. Okay. Trucknet, whatever you say, man. It's like the Little Brother song. Whatever you say, whatever. Yeah, they're not. Yeah, thank you, Ron. PC gamers, or please, a pure PC gamer is not giving up their for PC gaming to buy a hybrid. No. GTA 6 is going to have a PlayStation 5 Pro bundle. Good luck pre-ordering that. Game Pass is the food Game Pass, and it's shut off. Game Pass is the food stamps of gaming, BDR, and it's shut off. Yeah. And does it, Ron Slusher? Is it larger? Is it larger than hold on. How come Ron Slusher's comment? Hold on, something ain't right here. I don't have something here. Now let's go here. Ron Slusher, is it put your comment back up. Is PlayStation Cloud, is their library larger than GeForce Now? I thought GeForce Now was slightly larger, but I could be wrong. I don't know that. Yeah, Devil Shooter, it's crazy. They don't realize that if Magnus does release at the same time as GTA, the only way it'll be playable is through Series S and X emulation, or Series X emulation. They'd be fools to emulate the Series S version of anything. It'll be available via Series X emulation. That's all. It's going to be as capable as it is on the Series X. That's it. PlayStation has the marketing rights. So the base PlayStation is like, they're polishing the hell out of that motherfucker. It's going to play, as far as consoles are concerned, it's going to play best. It's going to play better than the Series X version on the PlayStation 5 version. And the best place to play it day one is going to be a PlayStation 5 Pro, because it's not coming to PC till later. Now, how later? Don't know. But if PlayStation has the marketing rights, you can guarantee that they probably negotiated at least a year. No, it's coming to PC, but I don't think it's coming for at least a year. And I don't know if Rockstar would want it out for, because Rockstar traditionally, they like to, polish it up on the console and all other shit, and then they'll put it out on PC when they're ready. And the way Jim Ryan and the tea leaves that he was dropping about the game, he made it sound like that this was like a big marketing deal. I get the feeling that this was a big marketing deal. I can't, with all the push that PlayStation has been doing to entice PC gamers, I think it's aligned with their anticipation of GTA 6 coming out, them trying to appeal to PC gamers, or at least get them ready to say, hey, look, we have a competent enough machine for you in the PlayStation 5 Pro. If you can't wait for GTA 6, come over here to PlayStation, get you a PlayStation 5 Pro, and you can play GTA 6 day one. You know what I mean? If you can't wait. I think, again, if that's going to be a successful strategy or not for PC gamers, don't know yet. But I think all this has been anticipation of that. So yeah, it's coming to PC, just not day and date. So he said it's going to run best on the Xbox. Chuck, you're funny. You are funny. Ron Social says GFN has 2,300 games. Oh, okay. All right. I knew there was a lot, but for some reason I was thinking that GFN was closer to 3,000 games now. Okay. That's interesting. So, I mean, that's a lot for you to ponder. Like, and you guys know I love GeForce Now Ultimate. Let me see here. Let me just confirm. I got to confirm how many games does GFN have? Yeah. You're right. What the fuck do they mean with install to? Oh, that is right. They are doing that install to play thing, like how Boosteroid does. I forgot about that. Oh, that's interesting. Well, that booster technical library to 4,000. So there's a bunch of games, y'all, that are not supported by GFN proper. But what they're going to do is, for extra money, you can rent hard drive space like on Shadow, and you can install the game on a virtual PC and play the game from there if it's not supposed. Oh, so yeah, okay, yeah, but no, by GFN proper, you can play 2,300 games. Oh, okay. All right. I'm sorry, Ron. I just had to double check that because I can't co-sign on something that I haven't researched myself. So that's a lot to think about, y'all. Well, no, because GFN allows you to play in more places above 4K, where right now your options for PlayStation Cloud is 1080p on the portal or 4K on the console. If you're going to buy the console, you might as well play the games natively, right? You know what I'm saying? So until PlayStation Cloud comes to PC, and that's my thought process. I know this is very unpopular. People are going to be mad about it. I don't give a fuck. Clip this, snip this, do whatever the fuck y'all want to do. Boost my channel. I don't think PlayStation should put a launcher on console. Do it through the cloud. Fuck them. Do it through the cloud. You open yourself to a broader base if you do it in the cloud, because most PC gamers don't have the hardware to play a Last of Us 2 or whatever natively. They don't have the hardware to do it. Most of them have weaker hardware, or maybe not Last of Us 2, but some of the more recent games, if they come to PC, they don't have the, like Spider-Man 2, they don't have the hardware to play it. Give them access to the cloud on PC and force them to buy the store from the PlayStation Store on PC. I talked about this. Don't make it day and date. Make them wait about 6 months. They can still buy the game. If they want day and date, they can buy a console, or they can wait 6 months and play it in the cloud. That way you ain't got to compromise shit. You can still have your sign-ins and all the other stuff that you regularly require from the PlayStation Store. You ain't got to compromise shit and region lock shit. You ain't got to do all that shit because you're not on Steam or whatever. Like, I would stop putting games on Steam. Or if I'm gonna put a game on Steam, you're gonna wait 3 years. You're gonna wait 3 or 4 years. I will put a game on Steam after 3 years, after we've exhausted all of our resources through the cloud, through the console, through the portal, whatever. Then I will put it on Steam 3 years later. Don't even release a launcher, and make a motherfucker buy it from the PlayStation Store on the cloud. Just like how if I want to play it on the portal, I don't need a console to play it on the portal. I just got to go to the PlayStation Store, buy it on my account. They do the same thing on PC. Just make them wait about 6 months. Or here's what you do. You give them 1080p access, maybe, you can give them 1080p access and then make them wait about 6 months to a year for 4K access on the cloud. You know what I mean? So, and again, do it through the cloud. Don't do nothing native. If you want to go native, make a native version for Steam. Drop the motherfucker on Steam 3 or 4 years later. There you go. I wouldn't give them shit early. I wouldn't give them shit natively. He says, imagine watching them PS boys playing with your best girl Halo. It's hard losing access to your Xboxes. He says, you don't know that. That's all I'm saying, man. So, all right. Well, it's late. I know it's like 1 or 2 o'clock where Cold Blood is at, and I got to make dinner. I've been assigned to make dinner today. This went over an hour and a half longer than what I was supposed to, but oh well. With that said, thank you, everybody. Cold Blood, any final thoughts before we get the fuck out of here?
Yeah, it's my birthday now.
Oh shit! Oh, okay. Happy. Oh man. Y'all need to. You know what? Because it's Cold Blood's birthday, we need to buy him a game. Y'all should super chat and get Cold Blood a game. What game you want, Cold Blood? That you don't already have.
Halo on PS5.
Ain't that some shit? See, that's what y'all should do. Y'all should. Oh, that would be a funny ass stream. Force them to play Halo on PlayStation 5. We'll super chat it. We'll pre-order that. We'll pre-order that bitch tonight. Y'all gonna do it? Y'all gonna show some love? Y'all gonna show my brother some love for his birthday? Oh man.
Nah, that's hate, bro.
Geek says nobody cares if they wait 3 years. Shit, I don't mind waiting 1 year right now. No, I think 1 year, I can understand you there. I think if I just played Ghost of Yatai, which is fucking marvelous. I just played Ghost of Yatai. And they're like, Ghost of, I don't know, Ghost of whatever. It's coming out next year. And I'm like, fuck. I'm even if I was a PC gamer, and I know not all, but a good number of PC gamers, not all, I won't even say most, but enough PC gamers would say, you know what? Nah, I'm not waiting. And that's why Sony, this is why, and I can't take credit for this. My brother said this. Make them wait 4 or 5 years. If you make them wait 4 or 5 years for the game, another game is right around the corner. So then if your margin is 4 or 5 years, that means I gotta wait another 7, 8 years for the sequel? No. I just played this great game, and now a sequel is coming out in like 3 years. I want that motherfucker day one. I'm not saying all, not even saying most, but I think a good number of PC gamers, which you got to understand the meta too. Last generation, Geek, was that was the setup. Last generation, it was PlayStation PC. But a lot of these so-called PC gamers, they got they saw the grift, and now they're running the Xbox for the grift. That's what it was last generation. Just get you a PC and get you a PlayStation. You don't even need Xbox. So he said HBD old, man. All right, y'all. Well, we're going to get out of here. He said, I'm waiting for those Black Friday sales to get Gears of War PlayStation 5. That disc is a piece of history. Yeah, I'm hearing that Gears of War didn't sell too well on PlayStation. But there we go. Shout out to Geek to Sneak. He went to $5. Oh, we're going to get a gravy train for my brother Cold Blood. Geek to Sneak with the $5 towards the Halo fund. Oh, shit. Let me see. Well, they haven't dropped the price yet.
Cost me 80 euros, bro. Oh, hell nah. They can forget that.
They don't.
It better be 40, bro. I'm telling you, it better be $40.
Maybe that's what we'll do. We'll run a campaign to where these okay, I'll do that. Now I know what we'll do. We're gonna run a campaign to where, just to be safe, up to $80. We're gonna have up to the next $80 in super chats go to my brother Cold Blood. So that's what y'all got to do. We gonna force this motherfucker to play Halo when it launches. What is this shit? Yep. But all right, y'all. Let me get out of here. I know my wife is scowling. Her stomach is growling, and we'll start that. We'll get that campaign set up. But we appreciate everybody. Thank you so much Thank you for your support. Thank you for your patience with my schedule. And until next time, you guys have a wonderful gaming day. Don't forget the console war's over, y'all. Stop listening to these idiots. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we have fun here. Like we fuck around with TruckNet and Zantac in here or whatever. But I'm serious. Like when you want to grow your knowledge base of what's going on, because there's a lot of shit going on. Gaming is getting expensive. Hardware is getting expensive. All the other stuff. You want to know what direction these companies are going in. Stop listening to these idiots that have no other prerogative but to pilfer you for money. And hold the ones that accountable that lied to you, made you buy into something that did not bear fruit. And I'm not telling you guys to do anything. I'm not expecting them to do anything that I didn't feel like I had to do. So let's practice what you preach. And I feel like that's being accountable to the community. So just make sure that you're holding these companies, these creators, everybody that's pulling a dime from you. Make sure you're holding them accountable. Jenna Hastings got cold-blooded gamer girl stripper. Oh shit. Okay. All right. He can get lap dances from the stripper while he's playing Halo. He said that's why Square. I do want to address this real quick. He says that's why Square Enix has left PlayStation exclusivity, because all those PlayStation sales. How much did Death Stranding 2 sell? Was it Death Stranding 2? Didn't it top the chart on NPD? What are we talking about? Yeah, Death Stranding 2 topped the chart just like Ghost of Yatai. This selling. Look, here's the problem. TruckNet. Here's the problem. Square Enix is just dumb. Y'all can sit there and hate on PlayStation all you want. They had games that were exclusive to Nintendo. We already know that Nintendo, if we did the true numbers for Nintendo sales, we included digital, the NPD list would be full of Nintendo games. You can't sell a game on Nintendo? So let's stop with this exclusives don't matter. If we did the true numbers for Nintendo games, Nintendo would dominate. Every single game on the top 20 list would be Nintendo games. We'd probably have to get to number 40 or 50 before we went to another platform. Okay? So let's stop.
Bro.
Go ahead.
No, I remember how everybody was hyping up Final Fantasy Tactics getting a remaster.
Uh-huh.
And it's multi-plat for everybody.
Yeah.
So, where is that fucking game? I don't hear none of it now.
Yep.
It released and it was immediately fucking irrelevant.
Yep. I don't even think it charted. It may have, but I don't even remember it charting.
No, it definitely didn't.
Square Enix is just stupid. They have dumb leadership. They don't understand their demographic. Their demographic is PlayStation and Xbox, but in particular with PlayStation, I just think it was unwise to release the game when they did. When they released, if they were, the game didn't. Let's be real here. There was a lot of journos and bad faith idiots that talked about the Final Fantasy remake or rebirth sales disingenuously. They didn't say the game did poor. What they were saying is that they had a range of where they were expecting the game to fall in. It fell in that range. They thought, though, they were hoping that regardless of how their other games sell, the game would sell so much that it would negate any bad sales they had elsewhere. And it didn't sell at the top of the range. It was like in the middle of the range or the lower end of the range, but it sold within that range. So meaning it did its job for itself, but it didn't sell enough to make up for the other fuck ups. Normally when you sell a game, unless you're a platform, that's dumbness from Square Enix. That's how Sony approaches games. That's how Xbox is supposed to approach games. That's how Nintendo approaches games. Where you have Leviathan games that sell so well, they fund your other experiments. A publisher's not supposed to think like that. A publisher has to develop a game that sells on its own merits. So Final Fantasy VII Rebirth sold enough on its own merits, but they came with a platform approach. Well, we would like for it to sell enough to fund all. That's stupid. Then if that's what you want, then release the game in a strategically right time. If you were going to make it exclusive to PlayStation 5, let there be more PlayStation 5s out there. That was Square Enix's fault. That was stupid of them. The game sold enough on its own merits, but they needed it to sell enough to make up for the other losses. That was dumb. That's the Square Enix problem. And to Cold Blood's point, you release Final Fantasy Tactics Multiplat. Where's it at? Where's it at? Shut the fuck up. Square Enix is just dumb. And they're getting everything that they deserve as a dumb company. That board needs to extrapolate that leadership, start over fresh with people that know the product, know its core demographic, can better strategize. Under no circumstances should a publisher say, you know what? We need this game to sell so much that it fucks up for other. No, you just, I mean, there's things that you want to try. There's things that you're going to risk, and you got to live and die with those risks. But a game for a publisher should not live or die off of another game's performance. That's stupid. And they paid the price for it, as they should. Genesis Cold Blood, get Cold Blood a gamer. Oh, I already read that one. Get him a gamer girl. Wherever we're all green, so when Cold Blood makes it out with her, she shows Sony screwing Xbox. Today, you need help. You need help. All right, but that's it. We're out of here, folks. We'll talk to you guys later. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Thank you for showing up. And till next time, you guys have a wonderful gaming day. Peace.